You're listening to the Beans and Dice podcast, a podcast about how we game.
It's a good song. Let it play.
Hey, let it play
It's a good song.
I never get to hear this song.
Hey, folks. Welcome to the Beans and Dice podcast, Thursday night live call-in show. I'm Carlos.
I'm Rob.
And Wayne will be joining us later.
Yep.
So we will be leading us off tonight. Tonight, we have no main topic. We've got some Twig, which includes games played. This Week in Gaming, for those of you that are maybe new to the show. Twig, This Week in Gaming. We'll talk about games we played, games we bought, BGA games that we've been playing, anything to do with gaming-related news or content that we've consumed. And then we'll get into any OGG that we have going on. More importantly, we will open up the phone lines, which is something we will do right about now. We will open up the phone lines.
Don't go crazy. Open the floodgates.
Yep. We're going to open up the phones to get y'all, because at the end of the day, this is a call-in show.
We hope.
So we want to. We're counting on you to make that happen.
It a call-in show, yeah.
It does require audience participation for it to be a call-in show. Rob, you'll notice something different behind me today.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Pow! We got a number counter.
Oh, okay.
I'll maximize my screen here.
Yeah, so I see the big 0 there. That's not a good number. We need that number to go up.
Right now we're at 0 on the flipper board.
Is that little flipper?
It's
I thought
like
it was
a
digital or something, but it's like Stone Age.
If we get enough people supporting the show,
all right.
Because you can always support us through YouTube by making sure you subscribe, making sure you like. That matters. Yep. You can send a super chat that sends some money our way to spend on stuff, or you can send money directly through PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App at Beans and Dice. So it's $ Beans and Dice or at Beans and Dice. It's a great way to support us, and we might be able to upgrade to something digital instead of this analog stuff.
That'd be kind of cool. Just push a button and the next number comes up. Yeah,
that'd be nice. I don't have to turn around.
That'd be cool.
It is a call-in show all about board games. That's what we do here. We talk about board games and other gaming topics. There we go. I'm trying to get this screen fixed.
Yep. Just like every week, we want you to call in. You tell us what you've been up to. Tell us what you've been playing, news you've heard. We'll chat about whatever, anything related to board games, even if it's loosely related to board games. The nerd, hoppy, at all. We probably know something about it. So just call in. You'll take over the show for roughly 10 minutes. You can talk to us about, again, anything that you want to, and we'll take it in whatever direction. If you don't call, then you get to just hear Carlos and I, at least for a little while, and maybe in a little bit Wayne will be on, but you can hear the three of us just ramble about whatever we've been up to. But we'd rather hear from you about what you've been up to, and then we'll fit our stuff in here and there. So and we're not too far away from our next top 20. Are we going to try to do that I assume next week, because we're coming
up right. First Thursday of the month, we update our top 20 board, and y'all can participate by joining our Discord. You'll find a link in the description to the Discord where you can join and us as we talk top 20 games played.
Yep. Discord, always a great place to post up ideas if you have something that's on your mind, something that pops in your head about board gaming. Was it last week or the week before we used the topic from Nick Oben about end game triggers in games and what we liked, what we preferred, how we felt about that topic. But if you got something that's just on your mind, you played a game recently and something either sparked a thought or irritated you for some reason, go ahead and go on the Discord, post it up there. There'll probably be some chat online in the Discord, but then we'll bring it up and talk about it on the show if we think it's a good topic. So you can contribute in lots of different ways. And then we got the chats here. So if for some reason you can't call, or you're not wanting to call, or you're intimidated about calling a call-in show, you can always jump in the chat. But we would rather hear from you. We'd rather see where you're calling from, talk to new people. So feel free.
I'm going to create a forum in the Beans and Dice call-in show segment of the Discord.
Okay.
And we're going to call it show topic ideas and questions.
There you go.
So topic ideas and questions for you to, help us come up with things that you want to hear about in the forum post. And I think the way it works is it's a forum style post. So you create a post and then it becomes a forum, and you can comment in there so that way we can hear your thoughts on those topics as well before we put them on air.
And lastly, we got the call-in number, which if you catch us, or if you have an idea that's outside of the show 2 hours that we normally run here on Thursday nights, you can always call and leave a voicemail. So we've done that in the past too. We've played people's voicemails to help spark topics, or if you've got just a question you want to ask us, we'll play that voicemail live on the show and give our feedback on it. So another good way to contribute.
I'm going to start off with Halloween games.
Oh,
games.
okay.
I'll start the first form in there.
Okay.
We'll call it Halloween games played.
This is happening right now in the Discord, huh?
Live, folks. This is how we do. There is the one thing you can count on with me is spontaneity.
Yeah, there we go.
All right.
Nothing like great radio.
There is a thread in there for you to post in games that you played, Halloween games.
Sweet.
For those of you that want to join us there, you can always comment in the show, just like our friend Captain Gamer just did.
Hey, howdy.
Howdy, guys. Also known as Pop and Tot, Chris from Texas. Popping in to say hello. He's a part of my twig, so I'll bring that one up too. We'll roll right into the twig with his comment there.
Okay.
All right, let's get in there. In our twig today, so Rob, we agree. BGA games count.
Okay.
I think we came to an agreement somewhat.
Sure.
BGA games count.
Yeah, we can talk about this.
We just finished a game of Cities that Chris,
yes.
Captain Gamer, introduced us to on the BGA site.
Your first time, right? Yeah, it was the first time you've ever played. I played once in person. This was my second or third time on BGA. But
well, then I want to hear your thoughts on it too. But there was nothing about that game that enamored me. Right, there was nothing about the theme, the mechanisms, the pieces that got me excited for my next round. It felt very sterile. That's the word I'll use.
Okay,
very sterile.
I could see that. It's a very welcoming game. Yeah, it's a very, very welcoming game. The first time I played it was over at Alex's at a game day, probably about 2 months ago, and it was one of the new-ish games that he had had come in, I think, from a Kickstarter or something that he had done. And so he had a small stack of them, and we were just trying to get through a couple of them. And so we grabbed that one and we played it. And I figured after one play I was done with it. It showed up on BGA, so I played a couple times now since then on BGA, but I haven't had much interest in going back to it. Like you say, there's nothing in it that's different. It's extremely light, extremely entry level. It's basically just action selection. You have to select from one of the 4 different options each round. You can only do each one once per round, and so it's just kind of a bit of a race. If there's something that comes up in one of the 4 categories that you really need, the categories are in-game scoring cards, they're the tiles that you place your stuff on, there's the buildings that you're building, and then there's the features, either water features or land features that you're putting in your parks or putting in your water. You score points by there's 4 different types of water features and 4 different types of land features or of park features. And so you score by getting a set of each of the 4 or 3 or 2 or however many you can get into a set in each of your areas. And then you've got these cards that you can pick up that give you points for either different orientations of the landscape or building buildings of certain heights, blue, red, yellow, brown, something along that line. But it's really basic. I would say it's definitely I'm going to say next step game, or it's definitely not a next step game. It's definitely a first step game. It's a welcoming game. I'd say people who really, really want to ease into board gaming, or even a younger crowd, I'd say preteen is my level on it, I think. So yeah, I definitely didn't find anything in it that was particularly exciting.
But I struggle with that because even preteen, younger crowd, there was nothing in there theme wise that I think would draw a teen in. Right? We're not building a theme park. We're not doing dinosaurs park. We're building just a city, just a basic city. We're not fending off zombies. There's no, juice.
Yeah. And assuming you really haven't seen the game on the table, there's nothing about that either that's exciting. It's just cardboard and some plastic stackable buildings, that build up for the buildings. But everything else is just cardboard chits, and then cardboard. There's just slightly larger cardboard tiles that are the spots that you're placing on. And so it's really, it reminds me of something along the weight of King Domino, maybe a slight step up from King Domino, just because you have a few things, you're trying to get those scoring cards to score different in-game things that you're trying to build up to. but it's not much more than a king domino entry level, like I say, starter kind of game. There we go. I'll get some pictures of it here for the people who are able to see on the podcast or on the video cast. But it's got a decent rating, 7.4. I mean, it's not I wouldn't say it's a horrible game. It's just there's nothing exciting about it. There's nothing new about it. There's nothing different about it. Everything felt like, I've done that before in other games and in other entry level games. There's not anything that really makes you think. So,
well, Chris taught us what's the other one? The dungeon creating one.
Drawing a blank.
Drawing a blank.
Yeah, he'll pop in there in a second and let us know.
But that one had the theme of dungeon, right?
Oh, yeah.
I felt like I was doing a lot of the same things that I'd be doing in cities, like getting some endgame scoring cards, getting components to put down on the map or on the grid, whatever the grid is that you're building, right? The only difference really was in the game that I cannot say at the moment because I can't remember it. You're building a path in your dungeons. It's a little more of that versus stacking of buildings. That at least had a theme that I can enjoy. Stone Spine Architects.
And you got me saying Stone Spire now. I just said Stone Spire, but that was your thing.
Yeah, I think we gave that one the beans with Captain Gamer on the show. So go back and watch that episode.
Yep.
But that was to me, I think would be my choice. If we're going to play a game about building a layout and getting endgame scoring, I'd go Stone Spine Architects any day over Cities. So I'm not going to poo-poo it. I don't want to beat it up, but it was sterile. It was bland. It was vanilla. How do the kids say today? They call it meh?
Meh, yeah.
Meh. What else? Meh. Also, a synonym for that would be mid, right?
Yeah,
Ohio. That's another way to say mid.
I haven't heard that one.
Oh, you haven't heard that one? Ohio. It's just okay. It's just okay.
Right.
Or 6'7". That's also mid.
Our Ohio fans aren't going to be happy with that either. So that's all right.
Call in, tell us why we're wrong.
Exactly.
That was Cities by Phil Walker Harding and Steve Finn. Praise be.
Yeah, Phil Walker. Yeah, I mean that's probably one of the main reasons everybody wanted to play it when it first came out. Phil Walker Harding's name was on it, but yeah, it was very, very basic. So weight is a 1.92. So
that wasn't a bad weight for a while, but not right now.
No, yeah, you've evolved a little in the gaming. So yeah.
In the continuing on the BGA realm, we got a comment from Chris. Let's go here. Stone Spine Architects is one of my favorite games too. It is my top 30 this year. Oh, yeah. That's 10 off the top 20 board.
So he's not putting in the top 20, but he's got in the top 30 there. So
10 off the top 20 board.
Yeah.
All right, so we continue to play some more BGA games. Rob, we've been in back-to-back games of Diamonds. It continues to be for you, myself, and Wayne. Thanks to Ron Frazier, who brought it to our attention. I've still yet to table it on the table. I really want to do that because Trick Takers, to me, it's that fast action of capturing tricks that really makes it enjoyable. But this game is still a good game for me. There's still a lot of good decision points in it. I think the last game we ended up scoring 62 Wayne, 61 to me, 1 point, so close, and then 34 to Rob. Woohoo! So Rob had probably one of those, you weren't probably paying attention as much this round.
Maybe. And then I know there was a couple of hands there where I had almost all of just one suit. And it's like, what do you do with that? All I can do is basically one action over and over and over and over again.
I will say there were a couple hands where I had nothing but one suit, but they were all diamonds. So that's,
as long as it's allowing you to bank stuff. So yeah.
That's the best card in the game, the diamonds.
Yeah, I know my last game I had it was all but one card was, I think it was hearts. It's the one that allows you to get them and put them into your showroom, but not actually to bank them. And so I couldn't do anything. And
then I would play the club on you and take it from your showroom before you got it.
Yep, exactly. So but I ended up with like 10 of them in my showroom and I just could never get them into my vault. So yeah, sometimes that happens.
So enjoying Diamonds, and then continuing to play a lot of Shot and Totten. I got Chris into a game of Shot and Totten because he had mentioned he'd like to play it. I don't think he expected that when I set up a game of Shot and Totten, I set 5 games of Shot and Totten. I'm sorry, 10. 10 games of Shot and Totten. 10.
Well, you and I are playing, but we're on our third one. I thought it was about over.
Oh, no, it's 10. It's the long haul, because my thought is this. Over a period of 10 hands, or 10 games, we will be able to take out the luck aspect. So, over 10 rounds, the better player should win.
You can't do it over 5. You got to do it over 10.
Okay, maybe we'll do a mutual concede after 5. I don't know. But you score up all your points for all the wins over those rounds. I like the idea of playing multiple hands of it. Maybe 10 was a bit high.
Yeah, that's quite a few.
10 was a bit optimistic, you think?
Yeah, I think so.
We're talking BGA games, so
Yeah.
it is feeling like it's longer.
Yeah, because it takes some time for the back and forth. Some of them go quick. Actually, I was just pulling up my list of BGA because I kicked off a whole bunch of them in our Discord yesterday. And actually, I came back to a few that I haven't played in a while. Harmonies. Have you played Harmonies at all yet?
Negative. Have not played Harmonies yet.
Harmonies is a pretty simple game. I'm trying to think of what it reminds me of. There's a couple. It's very abstract. It's on your turn, you have the option of either taking a card that dictates a pattern for you that you're trying to complete, or you're taking some, I think they call them stones, that you stack up in different orders, and you're trying to stack them up with the right color combinations. And by completing them, you have a grid that you're putting them on, so you only have a limited number of space. And as you're laying them out on that grid, as you're completing the cards, or you're completing the design that's on the card, you get to retire that card basically, and then it opens up a new space. I think you got space at the top, I think, for 4 cards. I say at the top on BGA. I'm thinking of my BGA. I've never played this one in person, but you've got space to hold 4 cards, and so you can work on up to 4 different patterns of these layouts as you're going along. And so it reminds me a lot of it just jumped in my head and back out, the game you like, Cascadia, a lot.
Yes.
Yeah,
I've heard that before. I've heard that said about this game.
Yeah, because you're doing these patterns. You're trying to. Yeah, there you go. You can see the board there and how you're stacking these little. I haven't played it. I've seen it in person, but I haven't played it in person. But those nice kind of chunky wooden discs that you're stacking up in the different orders, and it's just fun. It's I played it 3 or 4 or 5 times when it first came out on BGA, maybe a year ago, and then hasn't touched it since then. And I was just going through all the games on BGA looking to just fire off some stuff. And I ran across it, and I was like, "Oh, Harmonies! I haven't played that in a while." And it's mostly chill. It's kind of a what I would, a lot of people are referred to these chill games where you just kind of take your time. There's no rush. The scenery, the art on it, I think, is fantastic. So the little I don't know what kind of style that art is, but these little landscapes they have, you can see like there's a little funny alligator on there, and they throw in these little weird animals sometimes, but just kind of chill, just kind of laying out, trying to figure out how you can place pieces that will combo. And sometimes you can place one piece that will complete maybe 2 or 3 different cards just by doing that. Oh, and I didn't mention, so you're on your turn, you're either taking one of the cards from the display to add to your personal area, which is ones that only you can complete, and you can have up to 4 there, or you're drawing, there's a kind of coaster things. What's the Azul style, where there's different coaster areas where you can pick up randomly
a market or a display.
There you go. Right. Yeah. Where you're picking up randomly laid out combinations of these. I think it's always 3. Yeah, you can see it there in that picture, but there's always 3 at a time. And you've got 5 areas you can choose from. And then once you get down to 2 or 1, I think it is, you reset them and you just refill it up. So it's really kind of, it does remind me a lot of Azul, a lot of Cascadia. It's kind of a cross between the two, really. It's a good one. I would say you should try it. It can be a little frustrating because, again, there are games of this where you kind of start laying out one pattern and then you get into a string of cards where it just seems like the patterns aren't working with what you've kind of started on your board, and you are kind of locked in because, as you can see there on that board, again, you've only got a limited number of spots where you can place stuff, and you can never move. You can never slide anything up or down or left or right. So once it's on there, you're kind of stuck with dealing with what's on there. And they've got some little bonuses you can get from doing certain things with certain different combinations of colors. And so you can play it kind of at a light level, or you can kind of play it more competitively. And it's a fun one. But again, when I haven't played in a while, I just started a game where we're only 3 or 4 turns in, but I'm quickly reminded that this was a pretty solid game. It's one I don't feel like I need to rush out and buy, but it's a fun little game to play on BGA.
Yeah, what else do you want to highlight from BGA plays?
Oh, let me take a look here. Yeah, some other ones that I kicked off. Imperial Settlers just recently came out. I know they've had 51st State on there for a while, but they just came out with Imperial Settlers, which is kind of interesting because I was surprised, I guess I should say, to see Imperial Settlers come out after 51st State, because a lot of people love the 51st State, and Imperial Settlers kind of set some of, even though I guess 51st State was first, and then there was Imperial Settlers, and then they updated 51st State.
No, there was probably a couple of 51st States, and then Imperial Settlers.
Maybe. So, and then they came out with an even better version, the deluxe version of of 51st State. And so once that came out, a lot of people stopped playing Imperial Settlers. So again, I was a little surprised to see Imperial Settlers come out after.
Complete Master Set. That was the title of it.
Is that what it was? Okay.
51st State Complete Master Set.
And so, do you have that one? I know
I do.
Up. Okay, that's right. I think you had bought it afterwards. And I like both games. They're extremely similar. I mean, they're mostly the same game. There's a few small changes, but they're about 80-90% the same.
I feel there's more attacking involved in 51st State.
Sure.
Like, so you're really raising other people's buildings.
Yeah.
You're sending folks out to barter and to attack.
Yeah.
Whereas Imperial Settlers does have some mechanisms for attacking. I don't feel that it is as necessary as 51st State, but either or, they're both just two different themes. One is historically based, pick a civilization. You want to be the Romans, you want to be the Egyptians, versus 51st State when you're playing as warring factions in a post-apocalyptic land who need water, lots of water.
Yep, water's the key. Water's the king. So. But the kids really like my two older kids. They aren't familiar with 51st State, and I've had Imperial Settlers for a long time. I bought almost all the expansion stuff for it, so we've played a fair amount of that, and so they really like that. So I kicked off a game of that, and again, that's another one that just came out recently. We're on our second game of it, I think, and it's one the kids asked me to restart. So it's always cool when the kids are asking for something in particular. They're coming back to something. So I like that a lot. We have been doing the campaign, I guess you call it, of My City. Me and the kids did that physically when we had, I guess it was 2 or 3 years ago. It wasn't too long after the original came out. They came out with My Island, I think probably about 2 years ago. So it's probably been 4 or 5 years now, actually, since My City. But we played through it through the physical box version at the table. And then now that we're a little spread out with my daughter at college, we've decided to play through the whole campaign again online. And we're about 2/3 of the way through it. And that's another little fun game. It's a little tile laying. There's a little story that goes along. You play through groups of 3 games in a chapter, and then from game to game to game in each chapter, there's a slight change to the rules. And then when you go from chapter to chapter, you take all the stuff from the previous chapter, but then they usually add kind of a bigger twist. And so then you play 3 little games with slight variations on that twist, and it really kind of evolves as you go through. So we really enjoyed that. I really was looking forward to My Island, and one of these days I'll probably pick it up and play it with the kids. But I heard that a lot of people did not like My Island because it was too similar to My City, and it didn't introduce enough new stuff to make it feel like much of a different game. Yeah, there's My Island there. So, but we've enjoyed My City, and having that on BGA where you can play through a Board Game Arena, where you can play through the whole. I don't remember how many games. It's 15 games or whatever. And we're kind of, it's another chill game. We're just taking it at our own pace, but it's a game where there's a deck of cards. And so on BGA, it just flips the next card for you. And then each of you plays a polyomino onto your board, a little tile onto your board that has to fit it in. And you're trying to complete different objectives and score points. And then from game to game, some stuff carries over, some stuff goes away. And again, just super chill, something we do at our own pace. We don't feel compelled to rush through it. If somebody takes a couple days to take a turn, whatever, we just play along.
But y'all played through My City on the tabletop, right?
We did, yep. So we played all the way through it.
And you're playing it again?
We're playing it again, just because.
How's the replayability? Tell the folks at home.
I don't think it's one that I would ever buy again. So that was, again, it was really nice that it came out on BGA. When it came out on BGA, we'd always talked, again, we were excited about maybe doing My Island because, again, we enjoyed My City quite a bit. And I had just seen the difference here. There's definitely about a half a point difference in the ratings between My City and it goes down for My Island. But again, what I heard is My Island isn't a bad game. It's just almost identical, and they didn't change things up enough. So back to the thing, though, is I would not have felt compelled. It is a legacy. So I say a campaign, but it is a legacy. You're actually stickering your player board as you go through. So you can't really reset it and do it again. Although it's a cheap game, you can pick it up usually at Barnes & Noble or somewhere for $20-$25 on sale. And so it's really not an expensive game to buy again. And I had thought about it. I thought maybe I would do that. But after having gone through it once, it just wasn't worth doing it again. But then, like I say, when it came out on BGA, it was like, oh, this is perfect. So I don't have to buy it again, and we can play it, being remote, being away from each other for part of the year. And so it was just perfect that it came out on BGA. And I would highly recommend it. Anybody who likes kind of a light, non-stress tile polyomino placing game, I would say if you have access to Board Game Arena, definitely give this one a try, and it's fun. It's worth going through the campaign. It'll take a while because, like I said, I think it's 15 games or something in each game. Well, yeah, you can't really put a time on it on Board Game Arena. Just depends on how quick people play. But physically, each game was less than an hour, so they were pretty snappy. And I would definitely recommend it.
All right, My City.
Yep, that's a good one. How about you? What else you been playing?
Well, before I get into more of what I've been playing, let me go through my haul.
Yeah. All right, let's do that.
Because I've got games that I played on the tabletop. Any final highlights for BGA before I jump into my haul?
Let me just see here.
Anything special that stood out?
Been playing Flip Tunes a little bit. I talked about that before. That's a fun, again, super light, fun little game. I just kicked off another game with the kids of White Castle. They're enjoying that one.
Oh, that reminds me. Yes, I'm in a game with Joey from Colorado. He and I are playing a game of White Castle. He's
Nice.
like, "Hey, bro, I'm a dad too, so like the idea of being taking multiple turns in a day." I said, "Don't even worry about it. We're gonna do infinite, and we're just gonna take our sweet time and enjoy it."
Yeah.
But I tell you what, man, we got a beautiful set, Rob, of farmer actions.
Oh,
So
really?
I guess I'm seeing more depth in the game, but these set of farmer actions are all good. And I don't normally go do the farm thing, but when you're able to take another action, so another, what's the cat, not the castle, but the train action, the training,
Train grounds.
training grounds action, or if you're able using a farmer to take another white action on the board, like those to me matter. And if you can keep a die on that bridge and take that as a free action at the end of the round, I think that's going to be great. So this set has got me a little excited about the combo-rific tastic nature of this version that we're playing.
I get a little nervous about those farming things though, because it seems like when one or two people go there, everybody rushes to pull all those dice off. So it affects how the game is played, I guess. So if you want to push things in a particular direction, but yeah, that's not usually my thing. I'm not the farmer, so.
White Castle, what else?
The only other one I just saw here real quick. Let me flip back. I'm flipping back between screens. Viticulture Tuscany. So I'm playing in a game with a couple people. Wayne's in that one. Mr. Jeeves is in that one with us, of course. I think he
cool.
started it. But this is the beta test of Viticulture's Tuscany edition. And I think Wayne or somebody had mentioned how much they've forgot how much they liked it. But now playing it again. I've been playing on BGA a lot lately. The non-Tuscany, just the base version of, it's not Essentials, but whatever version they have had on there. And it just has the 3 seasons and doesn't have all the upgraded workers and stuff. And so playing this now reminds me that this game definitely can go up in complexity a couple of steps when you get to 4 seasons and you have to spread your people out, and you've got all the extra cards in there that do different things. So it's definitely a little more thinky. It's a little more complex. So I'm enjoying that part of it now, because I had gotten kind of in a rut with the base version, but having the Tuscany now is really cool. So I'll be excited when this comes out and everybody can play it. So. But that's it for me.
And don't forget Concordia. We are in our second game of Concordia. I got destroyed in the first one. I feel like I'm doing a little better in the second one.
Yeah, this one's still early. But
it's still. Hey, I got plenty of time to mess this one up.
No, well, I wasn't saying that, but I was just saying it's early, so I don't know how I'm doing yet. But yeah,
good implementation so far. It's a beta, right?
I think it is. I think it's in beta still. Yeah.
Haul wise, so what's come in? Friday, I went over to Armada Games and I picked up my copy of Lord of the Rings. I almost said Seven Wonders. Lord of the Rings Duel for Middle Earth, the Allies expansion. Like, check this out, Rob. This thing is tiny. It's just like a booster pack of cards.
Yeah.
That's it. I love it. It just adds, and it isn't more of what's in the game. It is a complete new set of mechanisms for this one. In this Allies pack that I'll open up here for y'all, it's going to come with a set of ally tokens. These are tokens that you'll use as a resource to spend on allies. Each player's going to, because there's 2 players, right? There's the Fellowship, and then there's the dark side. I don't know. We would call them the Sauron allies. You'll each get your own little card with the abilities. You'll get from your deck of allies. You'll draw 3 at the beginning of the game. And these will be the 3 allies that are available to you during the game. At your choice, as on top of your regular action, above and beyond your regular action, you can bring an ally into play if you spend one of your ally resources. You start with 1. And then when you bring that ally into play, you burn that token that you have from your supply, and you're going to trigger their enter play ability. So the left side of the card will have an enter play ability. So as an example, this is Tom Bombadil, if I'm right on this one. And he allows you to place the power token on the Nazgul of the quest for the ring track, and your opponent must first use one ring to remove the token before they're able to move it on the track. So it kind of slows down the Nazgul. So that's his enter ability, right? And then at any time, again, once per turn, at any time you may trigger an ally. You can spend 2 ally tokens, and I'll talk about how you get those, because you started with 1, right? And you already spent it. How do you get more? We'll talk about that in a second. You can spend 2 to trigger its exit ability, and this is where you take it off the board and out of the game. And it's his exit ability is he places 2 tokens on the Nazgul, and now they'll have to spend 1 ring for each of those tokens to remove those tokens before the Sauron player can move the Nazgul again. So you can see how all the different beautiful artwork, these characters from the novels, right? So you're getting beautiful characters. Here's Erwin, the elf. You've got let's see, with the Faramir has the bow and arrow, right? So he's Faramir's the bow and arrow one. And Boromir, he's the one with all the bows and arrows stuck in him.
Looks like it.
Just like in the movie.
Yeah.
And I'm not familiar with this lady, but I'm sure somebody knows her from the movies. Her name is Lobelia Sackville Baggins, so she's in there as well. Okay. We've got Elrond, super powerful elf man. And then Goldberry, which I'm not familiar with her either, but she, of course, gives you gold. So you see these different beautiful characters that you're going to get. How do you get these resource tokens? You get the resource tokens, Rob, when we set up each chapter. We're going to, almost like in the politics one, you're going to set tokens on top of cards. And when you grab that card, you also take that token. I love the idea of this. Because it starts to direct your path in places you may not have wanted to go. Like, I may not really want that card, but that's going to give me my second ally token, which then allows me to trigger, I don't know, the Balrog, which allows you to take that token. Yeah, see how excited I am? The Balrog. It allows you to take that token and then put it on the board, on the map, in between 2 regions, and it prevents the Fellowship player from ever moving units between those 2 regions. So that path is shut down. You shall not pass. Like, how themey is that? So that is the Allies expansion for Lord of the Rings, Duel for Middle-earth. So LOTR.
Oh, don't even try.
DOME.
No, thanks.
No acronym?
No acronyms.
$10. I think it was like $10, man. This is a banger.
Yeah, is it? You're finding it's going to add a good chunk?
I'm hoping to. I just so I'll intermix with my twig. I did get to play tonight Lord of the Rings Duel for Middle-earth twice. So I taught it to Christian, my oldest son. Yep. And the first game he was like, I don't know, Bobby. There's too much going on. Like, I couldn't keep track because I beat him with the control of 7 regions.
That's the way I controlled
presence. In all 7 regions, and he was focused on other things. So he's like, I didn't know because I had to focus on that and that. So I said, let's just re-rack. That was only 20 minutes. It took 20 minutes to do that. Yeah. But the second time around, then you saw the excitement kick in, and we actually ended that game in a tie, a flipping tie, Robert.
How hard is that?
It stunk because that meant that we went through all 3 chapters. We played the full game, and then we ended up with an equal number of presents on the map. But what was great was the last 3 cards on the board, you can see his brain working to try to figure out how to maneuver his people because he was behind on that board. And once he realized the ring's not going to work, we don't have enough ring cards to trigger the ring track, and no one's going to get enough allies, right? Because all the green cards are gone, so no one's going to get the 6 race alliances to be able to win that way. And no one's going to get presence in all regions. So we're going to go down to the tiebreaker, which is presence in most regions, and just watching him work and decide what cards to take, what towers, landmarks to capture, so he can put towers in places. He was triggering combos to get the alliance race tokens, the race tokens to use their powers, and then decided on which power to use to then move things around so that he tied it up at the end. So he came and took my victory by moving his units intelligently.
Snatched it from you.
But at the end, we were both excited. So like what started off as first play, 20 minutes, I don't know about this, Dad, to second play, that was fun.
Yeah.
That's and fast. And he's like, the rules are simple, but man, there's so much going on. I'm like, that's why this game rocks.
Yeah, there was. Like I said, I've only played it once actually, and it was when you taught it to me and Dan. Or no, maybe I played twice. I think I played kind of back to back there. But oh no, actually, I watched one and played one if I remember. But anyway, yeah, there was a lot going on.
I was hoping that you'd come over tonight. I know we had some sickness in the house or prevented you from being over here with me because I wanted to bust out the Allies pack with you so we can test it out. We'll save it for another day. I want to see if it adds a lot more time or not. I doubt it will.
Yeah. Hit me just a few minutes ago. We have the phone lines open, right? We don't have a scroll up there with the phone number.
Oh, yeah. Let's do that. Thank you for reminding me.
People are waiting for it, yeah.
I usually wait for Wayne. Phone lines are open, 813-618-7099.
There we go.
Thank you for that, Robert.
Yeah, no problem. I just noticed it a few minutes ago. I was like, hold on.
I always count on Wayne to do the scroll.
Look at that. Wayne does the scroll. He just turned the scroll
on.
Oh,
he showed up and turned and the call came in.
Call comes in. When you turn the phone on, that happens. Yeah.
The phone was on. We just never had the scroll on.
Scroll up there, yeah.
Beans and Dice Podcast. State your name. Where are you calling from?
Good evening, gentlemen. This is Chris from Texas. How are you doing tonight?
My man, Pop and Tot. How are you, sir?
Doing excellent.
All right.
I was interested in hearing about your Allies pack review or first impressions because I had pre-ordered that, but it was on an order that still has another item that hasn't released yet, for Essen.
Isn't that the worst feeling?
So I'm looking forward to playing it. Yeah, I know. I've done it enough, though, Carlos, that I've learned a lot of patience. And that's a virtue, and it is fruit of the spirit. And I have cultivated more patience through that process year after year. So
there's a lot of fruit in that spirit.
It's okay to wait.
Hey, and you're the first one to enter the manual new.
Oh, yeah, Chris, you get to be the first person to use the new flipper board for the call counts. So you are number one ever of this little board here.
Did your wife get that for you?
Oh, wow. I feel privileged.
That's
an honor. Hey, Wayne.
Hey, Wayne Scott stepping in here. Yep. So I saw in the chat there, you said you had a new filler.
I do. Yeah. I've now played it 3 times. It's called Trinket Trove. If you guys want to pull it up on Board Game Geek.
Trinket
Trove. So Trinket and then Trove.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's basically a set collection, auction, and let's see. I don't think hand management's listed on there. Set collection, auction, drafting, open drafting. Those are the 3 mechanisms, I believe.
Okay.
So it combines those 3 mechanisms, which are all good mechanisms.
It says it's got an auction for turn order as well as one of the mechanisms listed.
Yeah,
I'm curious to hear about that.
Absolutely. Kind of like Wine Cellar. Yeah, kind of like Wine Cellar, but different. So basically, you start the game. It plays up to 6, which is awfully nice. You start the game. Everybody starts with 4 cards. These cards will be various trinkets. Some of them are treasures. Some of them are junk, like a feather. And they're worth various points based on the number of each of those trinkets you have at the end of the game. You play the game over 6 rounds, up to 4 players, and then 5 rounds with 5 to 6 players. And so you're basically on your turn choosing a card or more from your hand that you're going to use to bid on turn order. So the high number will win. Unless there's a tie. And if there's a tie, the person who bid last in the turn order will actually win the tie, which is, I think, really cool. So the first player has a disadvantage on the ties, but they have an advantage because they get to, choose first. But in a way, it's a disadvantage because everybody gets to see what the first player's done and they can beat the first player. And then, so if it's a high card, high card wins and second the tie. But if you play more than 1 card, then you'll also win. So if say player 1 plays 1 8, player 2 could play a 2 and a 3 card, and they'll still win because they played 2 cards in their hand instead of 1.
Oh, 2
so it's
beats
based
1.
Off of number first. Correct. Yeah. 2 cards beat 1 card, no matter what the value is. So I think that's really cool too. But you're playing with points, right? Because at the end of the game, whatever you have in your hand, you're going to score. So you're basically playing with your points.
I knew that was going to be Carlos. Yep. He doesn't.
That's hard, man. That decision is hard.
But it's fun. It's fun. And what you don't have to bid in some games, the first time we played, nobody bid over 1 card the whole game. Then the second game we played, it happened like turn 2 or turn 3, someone played 2 cards. And then that just opens it up. So it's all player interaction. So, but then you know what? I don't care. I don't care about that. I'm only going to give 1 card because I like what I have in my hand. I don't want to get rid of it. But then it's got this cool mechanism that you can bid 0, which I think is fascinating. So to bid 0, you don't bid anything from your hand. You flip your cute little rodent, player token over onto the 0 side to represent you bid 0. Then you take 1 card off the top of the deck, and that is your bid. So you don't know what it is. It's random, but you don't have to get rid of any cards in your hand. So if you like everything that's in your hand, you don't want to part ways with it, you can keep your entire hand. And then you just bid 0. And then you're stuck with picking last that turn unless another player bid 0, which actually happened 1 round. We played two players, actually no, 2 rounds. 2 players bid 0. And then it's based off of that number, right? Then you look at the number, and then that determines who gets to pick first. So you may not go last if somebody does the same thing. But it's really cool because you have that great decision space for a very light, filler kind of game, but there's a good amount of decision making on do I bid 1, do I bid 2, or do I bid nothing? And then it's just that collection, and whoever has the most points at the end. But the ramp up is so cool because like a feather, if you have all the feathers, you get like 125 points. So that the scores go way up. Like all the games I've won, I've had like 165, 175 points. So high scores.
I see that ramp up on the cards.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that cool?
Very slow to ramp up, and then there's like a cliff, and it just those points grow.
Yeah, it goes 40 to 80, 90 to 175. I mean, holy mackerel.
I don't know if they have a picture of it, but if there's a picture of a crayon, look at the crayon. The crayon starts at like 20 points, and then it goes to like 0 if you have like 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you get nothing. But then it starts ramping up, and then it goes back up. And so it's so cool the way they do it all the cards. They're not the same. Everyone's different. And then the 7, is obviously a higher card than a 1. And so you're going to usually win if you play a 7, just 1 card. But I think the highest card is an 8. Then there's a wild card in there. That's the 8, the mirror, who can be used to complete any set. And so they have that. And so if that 8's out there, everybody's going to want it.
Now, before you bid, is the market shown? Like, so is it? Tell me about the market. Is it how open is it?
Yeah, so the market is completely open. What you do is it's 1 card per player in the market that everybody gets to see before you bid.
So
and then you bid in turn order.
So this is where 0 bidding comes in. Like, correct. I don't need any of that.
Well, so let me explain a little bit more detail. Now we're getting the weeds. So you flip over 1 card per player. That's what you're bidding on. It's not really what you're bidding on. It's what's available. But you don't know what the other players are going to play. So you actually get to take 2 lots. So you get to take one of those cards that comes out randomly from the deck, and then you're going to be taking other players' cards that they're bidding with.
Oh, okay.
Because everybody gets to take 2 cards. That's what makes it so fun. Everybody gets to take a minimum of 2 cards every single turn. And then if somebody bids 2 cards instead of 1, you might get 3 cards that turn. And sometimes I had a turn where I took 4 cards because I was able to take 2 lots that each had 2 cards in it because people were bidding multiple cards. And so it's just all player interaction, and you never know what people are going to do, but it's just so much fun. Just that little decision space on what you want to choose for your bid. And then the fact that other people can bid multiple cards, and then you're choosing 2 lots, but you don't really know what's all out there. So you're really just bidding for turn order, so you get first dibs. But that one little thing makes the game so much fun. It's like, do I really want to go big on this turn, or do I kind of sit back and just see what happens? And I'm just going to be maybe kind of in the middle of the pack, or do I want to bid 0 because I love what I have in my hand? I don't want to get rid of it. But it's just really fun, guys.
I like
I
that.
like it better than Wine Cellar. I like it better than any filler I played this year.
I like that they've added that feeling almost like from Ethnos, where it's not just about what you're taking, but about what you're going to give others. So, like, I'm going to bid with these cards, but now I know that it's going to give it to someone else.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
And
and then one other rule. There's one rule I didn't say. Go ahead, Rob. You go ahead.
I get a little feeling of what was the one with the dwarves that are mining, and you get the different kind of dwarf, the set collection, and you get the coins, and you can bid the coins, and the last two that you have left over combine, and you get a new one.
Ram. It starts with an R.
Yeah,
Ragnarok.
Yeah,
something
I know
like
what
that.
you're talking about. It's on
Yeah, it gives me-
BGA, or I think it's on BGA.
a little flavor of that, but I'll look it up. I'll see what that is. But yeah, go ahead.
So I was going to say there's one other little thing that's in the game I didn't mention. So I mentioned the lots. So you take multiple lots. I also mentioned, I thought I lose my train of thought. There's one other little rule that's just a little nuance in the game. So you can bid 0. I've already explained that. Obviously 6 rounds. What is the other thing that comes into play that I did not?
I threw you
It'll
off.
come to me. I just forgot it. Yeah, no, that's okay. It's my fault. No, it'll come back to me. There's just one other little rule that's another little fun thing. But yeah, highly recommend it. Comes in a very small box. The artwork is, cute, very well done. Doesn't take up much space on your shelf. Highly recommend it. It plays up to 6 players, and it has a 2-player variant. And I have not tried it at 2. I want to, but it looks like it's pretty good. You just play with the little dummy, and then it tells you what the dummy does. And actually, the dummy bids from the deck. So the dummy takes 2 cards off the top of the deck, and that is his bid. So he's always bidding 2 cards, which would make it really challenging.
But it also increases the market.
It does, yeah. So it's challenging on that sense, but then, yeah, exactly.
Feed me,
You're gonna
Seymour.
always be able to
Feed
take a lot of
me.
2s. Yep, exactly. So so highly recommend that one, guys. I played it 3 times now. I played it at 3 players. Let's see, once, and 4 players twice.
Nice.
Graded all player count so far.
Nice.
Nidavellir. That's the one I was thinking of. Nidavellir.
That's it.
Yep,
Just
that's
fast.
the
That's a
one.
fun one. I like that game too.
Yeah, that one was super popular for a little while, and it's kind of disappeared. I haven't seen anybody playing it recently. So, yeah,
You can say that about like 90% of games.
Yeah. Well, a lot. And you're on mute, Wayne. Just to let you know, we can't hear you. But that was one that I remember you kind of cooled on, if I remember.
I really
played
like
that-
Nidavellir, and
Yeah.
I think just you played it like 30 times or more,
Yeah.
and it just got very samey. It got kind of samey. I think
Yeah.
that's where it's like games that cool are the games where almost every time you play it, you play the same way. And
Yeah.
it's like that game really has you kind of play it the same way. You're always going to put the 0 like on the bottom, and and the expansion kind of made it a little crazy. It didn't really freshen up the gameplay
right.
as much. It was still fun. I mean, I'd play it again, but it's a really good game that somehow just gets stale.
And I think the expansion actually kind of overcomplicated it a little bit because
Yeah.
they put in these really weird powers, and I always found myself having to go back to the book to be like, hold on, what does that do again? And there were certain of those little expansion leaders or whatever they called them that I stayed away from just because I either couldn't remember what they did or because they were too complicated and was like, I don't know, I'll take this one that just gives me 20 points instead
It's like Crusaders. It's another game that just the expansion I think overly complicates it.
Yeah.
I'm actually in 2 games of that right now. One
Both
with
games?
on BGA. I forgot to say that.
Crusaders
One
or
with
Nidavellir?
Crusaders. One with the expansion and one without the expansion, and it confirmed again. The expansion just overcomplicated the game.
Yeah, I definitely prefer that without.
But I think Crusaders, even though you're kind of doing the same thing over and over again, the different factions,
Asymmetric powers.
asymmetric powers,
yeah,
you
yeah.
play it, it forces you to play a little different. Whereas Nidavellir is kind of like, it gets very samey, and it becomes very from the beginning. You're either going to go all green or all purple or or all orange. Those are the big scoring tracks.
I know what presents itself. Yeah, I
And
agree.
this is why Chris brought up Trinket Trove,
Trinket
designed by Rocco
Good
Privetera.
luck. I was going to try to say it. I was like, yep, no thanks.
Hey, Chris, you also invited us to a new game on BGA that I've yet to play, but there's a lot of hullabaloo about it. Tag Team.
Yeah.
Is that right? Tag Team? Is that what it's called?
That's correct. It's an auto battler, 2-player auto battler.
2-player auto battler. I'm gonna have to watch the how to plays on this one.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Give me the quick rundown of how I'm gonna take my turns.
So basically, at the beginning, we're drafting which characters. You're going to pick 2 characters. And so it's basically kind of like Smash Up. You have 2 different factions. In this case, they're just characters. And they're going to have their own deck of unique cards. It's all asymmetrical characters. You're going to take those 2 characters, and those are going to be the cards you shuffle together. And then you're going to basically draw every turn. You'll draw 3 cards off the top of your deck, keep 1, and then put the other 2 on the bottom of your deck. That card you draft is going to go into your main deck. And everybody just starts with 1 card at the beginning. And so you do that every round. You're going to draw 3, take one of those cards, put it in your deck, and then you'll get to put what order you want it to be in. If you want it to be at the beginning of your deck or the end, because you don't shuffle. And so you're, getting one of those cards every round, putting it in your deck at the beginning or the end, and then they have various abilities that deal damage to the other player, or they prevent damage, or they heal, or they build up certain special abilities, make you more powerful, give you a ramp up. So that's basically the whole game, but every character is unique. I know Tom Vassell, that's where I heard about it on the Dice Tower, and he raved about it. He loves it. And pretty much all the Dice Tower guys like it. They gave it like 8.5s to 9s. I mean, I think Tom gave it like a 10, I think. I can't remember if he gave it a perfect 10, but he was up there for Tom.
Oh, yeah. I think I do remember.
And I've only played it twice on BGA, but you saw it on there?
Yeah, I remember, now that I see the art on there, I do remember seeing. I don't think I watched the video, but I remember seeing that they had reviewed it. Yeah.
And it plays great on BGA. I played it twice already, and it's a great implementation. And it's fun little filler kind of game. It plays really fast.
Very unique
I've never
characters.
played an auto battle before.
Oh, looks like Sauron. There's like a Sauron-looking
yeah,
character.
they have a lot of tropes in there.
Yeah.
There's like a Chun-Li type character. A Western, shoot 'em up. You got your Viking.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Okay, I'm looking forward to playing. Thank you for the quick how-to. So that'll help ramp my play up to get it going fast. He got us in on Tag Team.
Cool.
Absolutely. All right, I put in the Discord channel under recent plays, my plays for October. If you guys want to look that over.
Pull that up.
Recent plays. I'm pulling that up now.
This is my twig for October.
Oh, there's a whole
twig for last week in October.
Whole long list of them.
All right, now how do I do this?
Share that with the rest of us.
I will figure this out.
I got it.
Oh, Wayne's got it. Here we go. Insights. Jurassic Snack.
Yeah, that's my daughter. So my daughter's 5. And so I was calling some games. Like I think I told you guys on I call games a couple times a year, and I was calling some games. One of them came up was Jurassic Snack, because my son and I are the main ones to play games in our family. And I was going to get rid of it, and then my daughter saw it, and she's like, "Oh, I want to play that one, Daddy." I'm like, "Well, you know what? Dad's not going to play a game with their daughter when they ask us, or child, or whoever." So she played it, and she liked it, and we played it again, and she liked it. I'm like, "Well, I'm not going to get rid of this game. My daughter's going to play with me." So I have that one. It's a very, very light game. It's more of a kid's game, really. But that's what that is.
Nice.
Got some of that Shot and Totten, Trinket Trove, Castle Combo, High Society, which I'm not too familiar with that one.
I haven't played it. I know of it, but I haven't played
Reiner
it.
Knizia.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say it's Knizia game.
Is it? Ah, okay.
Yeah.
It's an older game, right?
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still rocking the Stone Spine Architects.
Oh, yeah.
Apiary got played. That was one I haven't heard about in a little while. You taught us cities on BGA, Everdell Silver Forest, which you seemed to, you were you were sending all kinds of content
Silver
about
Frost.
Yeah.
Everdale Silver
That's good.
Frost.
Yep.
It's
And
good. I think Rob would like it. I really do.
I assume you've heard they've announced another Everdale. Another one's coming.
Oh yeah, I did. It was funny right after our discussion on
Right.
within a week.
Yep.
They heard your show, guys, and they're like, okay, we got to release another one, guys. It's time. They're talking about it.
It's
That's
been
gotta
almost
be a
12 months.
topic,
Gotta get
man.
another one out there. Yep.
That's hilarious.
When does it go from being a cow to a cash cow?
Yeah, well, I think it's already jumped that shark. Yeah. Anyway, Jaipur is a good one. Yeah, that's always a fun one.
That's really good 2-player.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Marble Dice Throne missions. I haven't played enough Marble Dice. I need to play more. They keep pouring stuff out, and that thing. You talk about cash cows. I mean, this thing is killing it. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
they're releasing so many different things, and they got the what's the newest one called that they've announced that was at Essen?
Vengeance.
Okay, yeah.
Vengeance.
It was supposedly the tables were full the whole 4 days, 5 days, whatever Essen is, of people testing that one out. So I mean, it's just printing money right now. Anything they can throw out there with the dice masters, dice throne on it. So yeah.
Yeah, they're over $1 million every time they do
Yeah.
crowdfunding now. Over $1 million.
But I'm hearing
Every
more and
campaign.
more that the quality of the product itself has gone down. So
Really?
like the boards used to be folding boards, and each character got a Zin bin, right? Plastic bin custom molded to that character, right? Now it's just all the components thrown in a box, and your character is like a placemat now, like a dinner placemat. It's just a big flat cardboard piece that doesn't fold up. Is that about right, Chris?
I don't think that's correct for their Kickstarters. I think the retail, though, yes, I think you're right. What they're doing is they're doing a model where if you kickstart it, you get all the bling and the blang and all the upgrades, and then they say it'll never be available again otherwise. And so there's that FOMO, obviously, they're appealing to. But yeah, retail, I do believe you're correct on that. But I don't do retail for Dice Throne. I always do Kickstarter. It's my son's favorite game. So
Pinkies up,
pretty
bro.
much we get everything
Pinkies
that
up.
comes out.
Don't do retail around here.
Yeah.
I'm visualizing the SpongeBob meme of him in the tuxedo.
Yeah. Oh no, if it's a favorite game, you can go all out. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't poo-poo that.
Well, thank you, Chris, for bringing us in on your top 20. Thank you for introducing us to Trinket.
Making it a
And
call-in show.
yeah, the first caller on the new board.
Yeah.
You own the board now. It's I should put your name on that
Put his
number
name
one.
on it. Yeah, little title on it.
You guys are the best. Thanks for letting me call in and sharing all that with you.
All right, brother. Have a good
Appreciate it. Thanks for
evening.
calling.
You too, guys. Have a good night.
Night.
That's our friend Chris from Texas, Pop and Tot. Wayne, we were talking Twig. We were just getting into some of the Hall stuff.
I was listening on the way home. I heard you guys talking about harmonies. Harmonies, you're basically, Rob, all those chips represent terrain type. So like blue is water,
Right.
red is cities, gray is mountains, brown is like whatever, and then there's like wheats. And you're creating habitats. The cards that you're scoring on are habitats that you're creating for an animal. So this animal likes a habitat that looks like this. And so if you create that habitat, you then score. And if you create, usually the cards, you have to do it like 2 or 3 times to score the card. And it's kind of like progressive scoring. Like you score 5, 15, 20 if you do it 1, 2, 3 times.
And then you cap those off, right? There's in each pattern, there's one that you kind of cap off once you complete it. And so you can't use that again.
You use that again in the same harmony. Yeah. It's a good game. I've played it in person and a bunch on BGA. It gets stale though. Like I've heard a lot of people like it came out like gangbusters 2 years ago. People were all into it, and then it kind of
like I said, I hadn't played it in a while. Then I ran back across it and was like, oh yeah, let's try that again. And so I'm enjoying it again.
Expansions I think that just either kickstarted or just came out where it's like Harmonies Mountains or Harmonies something or whatever. So it's kind of cool. I think Carlos, you would like it because it's very much like I know Rob said, it's very much like
Cascadia.
But
yeah, that's what he had mentioned.
Yeah, it's a good one. Anything, I guess, as on the BGA side, anything that you've been playing recently on BGA that's a new found or an old friend?
Something you want to highlight?
Yeah.
And catch you up with where we are on the twig.
Yeah.
Well, just anything that like stood out to you of your BGA plays this last.
Yeah. While you're looking, how many games are you involved in right now? I got to ask.
I'm only actually very low, only 48.
Oh, I'm at 49 right now, which is my all-time high. So,
oh my god, yeah, I'm low. So I'm usually somewhere in the 70s or 80s.
That's funny. Your lowest is my highest. So anyway,
I mean the Diamonds game that I beat Carlos by 1 point that you talked about, I kind of like that.
I bet you did. Yeah,
I know it's good.
I don't know. I'm not loving Diamonds. I like it.
Really?
I know we
like
kind of. Yeah, I like it, but I don't know. I mean, well, actually, one other I should have mentioned, Carlos. We're playing the crew. You and my two older kids and me are playing the crew, and we're kind of going through those. A few of those we've stubbed our toe on and had to do a few times. But anyway, I enjoy the crew quite a bit more. I mean, it's a different game. It's definitely not the same because it's cooperative instead of competitive. But I don't know. Diamonds is okay as far as a trick taker, but not my favorite trick taker. But it's okay.
Right. I think I'm loving the fact that it's a the game's going very slow, but the Viticulture Tuscany.
Oh yeah,
I'm liking that.
I
it's just like right now, it's like basically 4 of my top 6 or 7 games of all time are on BGA, so it's an exciting time for me. Yeah, I have Stone Age, I'm in Burgundy, I'm in Viticulture Tuscany, and I'm in a Concordia, several Concordias.
Concordia,
yeah. So
I got Terraforming Mars. I got 2 games of Terraforming Mars going on right now. That's great.
Yeah. That's kind of cool that you can oftentimes we're trying to play so many new games or try to play different games that you don't always get back to the games you love. Yeah. So it's kind of cool to be able to have these to just play them online. So yeah, kind of cool.
For sure.
I don't have that much of gaming this week because I've been work's been crazy. But what's interesting is I got in the mail today something from USAopoly.
Oh,
I guess like earlier this year, I had signed up for a free copy of Flip 7, and I got that months ago, and then gave it away to somebody, right? Because it was like I already have my own copy, so let me just pass it along, and I gave it to a friend for his birthday, and then I get today in the mail. I got something else from USAopoly. They sent me a free copy of Tacta.
I don't know if I've heard that.
Yeah, so it's a little
very
card
small
game.
pack.
Yeah, very small pack. And they got a little card in there. It's like, if you like Tacta, here, so it's like free copy. It says promotional edition on it.
Cool.
So it's kind of cool. And it looks like it's the cards have colors and shapes on them, and you're kind of playing them. You can kind of see from the box. You're trying to like match up the shapes and sizes. So it kind of looks like a little like domino-like or like a little polyomino, but with cards. We'll see. But hey, free copy from USAopoly in the mail. So they must
not going to complain about that. Yeah.
My guess is they maybe had to sign up for this and they either didn't get enough or they decided to just roll over the Flip 7 list as well. So
maybe
I'll take a free game in the mail from a company. So it's kind of cool.
For sure.
It's one way. I mean, that's one way they're getting their if they have a mass market game that they want people to play, if they give out a couple 1,000 copies for free to gamers and it becomes popular, then they can sell it in the mass market store at $10 a pop. And I mean, you gotta imagine they gave out, I don't know, someone said they gave out like 5,000 copies of Flip 7.
Oh wow!
Originally for free.
They didn't need to do that. I mean, I gave out a bunch of them too, but
you might have given out 6,000.
Give out about 1,000 of them. Yeah.
That's funny.
But I mean, they really, because like I guess one of the cons, they gave out a ton of free copies and they did that mail away. So I mean, it's one way to get market penetration for a cheap card game. If you think about it, I mean, USAopoly is a big company; they can afford it, right?
Yeah.
They gave out a couple 1,000 copies of Flip 7. What did that cost them? If they turn around and put 50,000 copies in Targets and Walmarts and Barnes and Nobles, and it's like
put in those little hangers that hangs right next to Uno and all that. Yep.
Mm-hmm. $10 a pop. So that's cool. But anyway, that's like just BGA in this, and then I am full on Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, are you?
A
lot of
video gaming. Every chance I get, I'm jumping on my kid. Got a nice gaming computer last year for Christmas, so I've been using that. So I've been jumping on that pretty regularly.
For the kid, you got the computer for the kid.
I really did. But it worked out well because I get to play Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
I'm sure you got more in your haul over there, Carlos, right?
Well, but I wanted to touch back on the we're playing Diamonds, we're playing the Crew. I feel like in the games that I've been playing lately, I feel like I'm back into like a trick taking. I don't know if I want to call it a renaissance, because about 5 years ago they said we were in a trick taking renaissance.
It's still going
So
on.
like, are we like in a revival of the renaissance?
The second coming of the
Right.
Yeah.
Or has the renaissance not really ever ended?
And you got another trick taking game on Monday.
Yes, that's where the haul continues, because here we go, more trick taking games. So thanks to Wayne, came over. This is more of a Wayne thing than a Carlos thing, but he got copies of Origin Story, and Wayne brought me a copy over. Thank you, Wayne. I traded him a copy of Ra. So Wayne got a copy of Ra, and I got a copy of Origin Stories. What I want to point out on this one, number one, more trick takers. Like, I feel like I'm playing a lot more trick takers lately than I have. But that's the front cover, right? We kind of talked about it and all the concerns or the thoughts we had on it. But this is the back cover. The back cover had a piece of paper over it, which has like the board game stats, how long it plays, how many players, description of the game. That piece of paper falls away, and it leaves this cover. And I'm like, this back cover should have been the front cover.
Yeah,
I really
I
like this
could've
back
agreed.
cover a lot better.
It's
I had the
better.
same
Yeah.
comment, yeah.
Rob said it's better.
It's better. I don't love it, but it's better. It's definitely better. Yeah.
The art on the cards is actually, once you see the cards up close, I thought
Yeah.
the card
I'll
art was
check 'em
pretty
out.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you put
I'm looking forward
together
to
the dials yet?
I haven't opened it. All
okay.
I've done is looked at the box and the back of the box, and I haven't
Well,
got
open
into
it.
the dials yet.
Get in there.
We will. We'll
Okay,
get into
all
this.
right. We'll do a live unboxing. Yeah.
Something like that.
Oh, I
Now
want to
we're
try it.
showing- Yeah, now we're showing off. But what I got in that, I got again another Rolling Rums pack, and I got all of the bird packs. So
Yeah.
they're already in my big box that'll never get played probably.
But you got them.
I got them though. Yeah.
Completionist.
Yep.
I got more Orchard. So more Orchard. So Orchard is a 9-player solo game, but there was a rule set in Orchard, which is in my twig. I played more Orchard, and I finally got
Did you
more
get better
points
score?
than Rob.
Oh, good.
So it took a little
My one
while, but
play,
I
yeah.
figured it out. Man, they were just it was the lineup of the cards. Like, I was able to drop cards on top of cards on top of cards to really roll up those dice.
Yep.
In Orchard, you're receiving cards that have little trees on them. We talked about it last game, of different colors, 3 different colors, and you want to lay cards on top of each other, because when you lay a card on top of a card and the fruit match, the fruit grows. When the fruit grows, you're harvesting more fruit. But the 2-player game needs 2 copies. So I bought a second copy, and I think it was only like $12, so it's not a big deal. But we got a call that came in. Beansanddice podcast. State your name, where you're calling from.
Chester from Tennessee. What's up, guys?
Hey, Chester.
Friend of the show, Chester from Tennessee. We are putting it 2 callers on the board.
What's going on?
I really just wanted to call in and give a big second big up to Jaipur, which the last caller, Chris, aka Pops, recommended, because and my older brother, he's not a gamer at all, but I've had, I've played a lot of Jaipur with him, and he likes it, enjoys it, and so yeah, Jaipur, it's a great 2-player game, guys.
Agree.
So
I played a
I
fair
just
amount.
wanted to call in and say, yeah,
I don't disagree
yeah,
that Jaipur is a good game. What I found is, in my world of 2-player games, I found that one to be one of the more fiddly ones.
Yeah, it is a little fiddly with all the little
There's
chits.
so many little chits that you have to organize before round, after round, between rounds, scoring.
Yeah, the only fiddliness is, like you said, after the play, though. So it's like once you do the round, it's restacking those little tiles. But
that's also before, though. You got to stack them before you play, and then after you play.
if you put them back right, then you just take them out and boom, and then you're good to go.
That's not a bad idea.
yeah. I can't argue with you. I hate to think how the game, the mini games that we played would have went if he was in control of the tokens as opposed to me. But not trying to throw shade on you, bro.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, one person
But
stacks
yeah,
while one person shuffles. I mean, it works out, right?
well, I don't mind, being the token police,
Sure.
But
And I'll just be the token.
anyway, well, no.
Token brown guy.
Here's my problem, Wayne. I wanted to bring this up because I couldn't let this go.
No. Anyway,
But Chester, look, I'm showing it on the board.
Oh.
I could not retain the insert and sleeve my cards for this game.
There's an easy solution there.
Dude,
Don't sleeve your cards.
yeah,
that's not an
right.
option.
There's
It's not an option.
There's an easy. What? No, it's an easy solution. Don't sleeve the cards.
They could have built an insert that held sleeved cards. Come on, Mang.
No, come
the-
on, man. Quit being.
Yeah. For the 5% of people that sleeve
Oh,
all
my
cards,
goodness.
they're gonna create a custom game box that's bigger, which costs them more money, which cuts into their profit margin.
But okay, no, let's pause for a moment, okay? Like reality check on the back of the box, right there, small letters, recommended card sleeves, 2 packs of gray from GameGenic. Like they're trying to sell you on sleeves, right? If you're gonna sell me on sleeves on your game, make your game so that these are the sleeves that I used. I used 2 packs of the GameGenic, and I could not put them back in the insert. Come on, Mang.
Well,
Back to you, Chester.
yeah. Don't get me wrong. I buy sleeves for cards. I buy sleeves for my Magic the Gathering cards. That's right, kids. I play Magic the Gathering. Oh,
Hey, I just bought a bunch of packs of that Spider-Man set because they look cool.
Oh, it looks good. Oh, it looks good, don't it?
Yes. I'm using it. I'm already saving them up for Christmas to stocking stuff for the boys because they look nice.
Yeah, it looks good. I haven't the last Magic set I've spending money on was the Bloomborough set. All those anthropomorphic animals, woodland critters. Oh yeah, I spent like $75 on one deck. It's just, it's so stupid.
Look, we don't judge here. We don't judge at all here. This space is a safe space, Chester.
All those games stacked behind you. Don't judge.
I know, and I appreciate that. That's why I call in, because I know this is safe space. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm pretty much a solo gamer, and and I've been playing. This last week, I've played so many solo games. I've played Friday. I've played Songbirds. I've played Okie Dokie. I played Manhattan Project, Chain Reaction. I played Parks. And let me tell you, I've called in before and talked about how I'm okay with solo variants for games that just, compare your score to a chart. And I'm okay with that. I'll tell you, I'm not okay with the Parks solo variant, because the solo deck, there are cards in there that you flip over. It's kind of like an Automa deck. It's not called that, but it's kind of like an Automa deck. After you take your turn, you turn over the card for the quote unquote Automa in Parks, and it'll say, once either the sunshine or rain slots have been filled up, you'll fulfill whatever the sunshine or rain objectives say. And something they'll say like, discard all forest tokens. I'm like, well, that's cool, but there's nothing there's nothing in a regular, 2 to 4 player game of Parks that would result in me losing all my forests. Why is the solo game making me discard all my forest tokens when that's not even possible in a multiplayer game? So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is this
I hope
is
that
this the first edition solo
if
mode or the
there's-
second edition solo mode?
First edition.
Okay.
Yeah. So I hope that the second edition, if they do anything, I hope that the first thing they do is take the solo penalties and make them more appropriate, make them more closely resemble what would happen in a multiplayer game. Because, like I said, there's nothing in a multiplayer game that would make you discard another opponent's tokens. But for some reason, in Parks solo mode's making me discard tokens. I'm thinking, no, quit kicking over my sandcastle, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
good point.
disappointing.
It's like solo games that change fundamental aspects of the base of the regular game can sometimes be jarring. I've played the solo version of Parks, but it's been a long time, so I don't recall that part of it. Maybe I took it. Maybe I just didn't run across it. But yeah, that would suck because resources are hard to come by sometimes because you have that limited track. So, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much a small deck and one card that's on the top of the one card. It's got 3 sunshine. On the bottom of the card, it's got 3 raindrops, and of course the tokens along the trail. Every quote unquote season, you see those tiles with either sunshine tokens or raindrop tokens. And anytime the Rangers, quote unquote, the solo players come across one of those tiles, they're added to the solo card. And there's 3 slots for sunshine, 3 slots for rain. And then once they're filled up, then you activate the appropriate action according to whatever's currently exposed according to the solo card according. But it's just, yeah, I didn't mean to get off on a whole tangent. I really just wanted to call in and say, Jaipur is not that bad, guys, and I like it.
Anyway. It's a good game. It is a good game.
It's
I struggled with the manipulation of all the tokens, but you know what? I need to give it another try.
It's a top 5 2-player game for me. Like it's in there with Targi and Lost Cities, Patchwork. It's in that
top
5.
10 for me. Yeah, it's a good one.
Thank you, Chester. You made it. You continue to make it a call-in show. We got 2 calls on the board thanks to you.
Hey.
You are appreciated, sir. Stick around. I've got more solo games to talk about. I was just talking about Orchard, which was a solo game, and I just got my second copy of. That's weird. 2 solo games. I bought 2 of them. But I got more solo game that I'm going to talk about here in just a second in my twig. So stick around for that.
Well, I look forward to it because
I think you might like this next one I'm going to talk about.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at it's the day before Halloween. I just got through playing a solo game of Horrified, and Dracula and the Invisible Man. Well, they ain't got nothing on me, folks. So I look forward to it, guys. Thank you for your time.
Well, I appreciate that that segue right there. My man, Chester, thanks for the call. Have a good night, brother. Segued right into one of my plays that had Dracula and the Invisible Man. Would you look at that? It's like he knew what was going on. Hey, Chester, I got to play Cobble and Fog this weekend at church. We stayed around after service, and we played many games of Unmatched and a lot of Harvest, the card game. But Unmatched is my Halloween play so far this week, and we played Invisible Man, Dracula. We had Sherlock Holmes. We were playing against Bruce Lee. This Unmatched system is legit. So, Chester, if you're looking for a more horror theme, fun, asymmetric battler, I can't recommend anything as good as Unmatched for that. And it's not quite solo unless you get the expansion that Rob has. Or Rob played. I don't know if he has it.
I haven't played it yet. What's that one called? I've got it sitting right on the table.
Amazing Tales.
That's it. Yep.
That expansion can be played solo.
Tales to a Maze.
Tales to a Maze.
My man,
Yep.
Tales to a Maze.
Oh yeah, I tell you guys, when it comes to Unmatched, what gets my juices flowing is that TMNT Tales to a Maze coming out. Right?
That one, we're stoked. We're talking to all the guys at church. we keep talking about it on text. Looking forward to that one coming out. It's going to be like Tales to a Maze, which is cooperative against the board, but it's going to be Ninja Turtles with Shredder and Krang, and you're playing each of the ninjas, each of the turtles, 4 players against that AI bot in a story campaign set in like New York. It's going to be awesome. It looks great.
I'm excited for it, guys. And remember, if you're a Turtles fan, the foot stinks.
On that note, thanks for your call. Have a good night, Chester.
Thanks, Chester.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
See you, brother. Bye. That's our man, Chester. Phone lines are still open. But I did get to play some Unmatched, and Chester's not wrong. This is a great system. Looking forward to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles expansion that's going to be come out. Rob, I'm super excited about the American one. I can't remember the American Legends, I think it is. George Washington, John Henry, Rosie the Riveter. I mean, it's going to be a banger. Wyatt Earp. So you get a little Western in there, a little Wyatt Earp action and Unmatched. So I'm waiting for that one to come out. But Unmatched, I got to play for the first time in 4-player. That was so much fun. That was great. Like setting up the deciding between me and my partner on which characters we're going to pick so that we can kind of cover our weaknesses. Like, hey, I'm a real heavy hitter, so maybe you want to pick something with a little more range. All right, I'll go with the range guy, and then kind of coordinating our attacks and deciding when somebody, almost like tag teaming, like, hey, you go in and punch him a few times, and then when he goes to hit you, run out, and I'll come in and punch him a few times. It really added to the enjoyment of the game. That was my first time doing it, but more importantly, it added to the time. I will say that it Unmatched to me feels like a quick 20-30 minute game. It did last more like 45 minutes in a 4-player mode, almost an hour, but it was so enjoyable. Unmatched, got it played, a little bit of horror theme. For you folks that don't know, it's an asymmetric battler where you play on a map with miniatures, but you use all cards. Everything's cards that you use, so there's a lot less luck. But we got a call that came in. Beansanddice podcast. State your name, where you're calling from.
Hey, this is Joey from Colorado.
Oh, hey, my man Joey. Caller number 3 for the evening. It's going on the board. Woohoo!
Yeah, and I heard you say it's a new board. What's going on with that? I didn't get to look at it.
We got a little flipper. It's a little flipper display where the numbers flip, so I don't have to write. We don't have to try to decipher Rob's number 2 because Rob has the weirdest written number 2 I've ever seen in my life.
I try to draw the 2 over top of the 1, so I don't have to erase the 1. So anyway,
I'm glad Wayne chuckled at that. I wasn't the only one that noticed his number 2 looked really weird.
That's just not trying to erase. Yeah.
But hey, the show is yours, Joey. Welcome to the episode.
Hi, thank you. Well, first things first. Did you take your turn in White Castle?
Listen, it's been a long
No.
day. Okay, I've been the acting director and stuff, and
You can't
like
count on that with Carlos. My kids
I'm
have been
tired.
complaining. It's like, why is
I was just teasing you. You know, my
Coop
wife
taking so long?
was out of town for a week, and last Thursday she left, and she asked me. She said, "Did you call in to your show last Thursday?" And I was like, "You know, honestly, I don't remember. We were up since 1 a.m, and I had to drive her to the airport and then work and then get the kids." So, anyways, so I don't recall if I called in last week, but yes, to the point of forgetting, I do not blame you at all, and it wasn't meant to be,
Oh, I
indicative.
didn't take it at all. What was great was when you messaged me to say, "Hey, I need you to know that I got things going on too, so don't expect me to take a turn every day." And I'm like, okay, this is what BGA needs to be for me. Like, I can't deal with this pressure of
Yeah.
hurry up and take your turn. Like, I'll take my turn when I get a moment. Like, life's hard sometimes.
Oh yeah. Even when it says like 2 days to take a turn, I'm like, oh great, I got 48 hours. No, that thing shrinks
Negative
down to
5
6 hours
minutes.
before you know it.
Oh no.
But I wanted to mention that, and then I wanted to weigh in on the topic that you posed a couple of weeks ago, and I don't want to say I changed my mind to you, Carlos, but the topic of determinate length games versus maybe non-determinate.
Yeah.
I've got a couple examples that I really want to say could change my mind about that, and that is, race games. They do not have a specific end time, such as let's say. Sorry, I'm going to turn on my Wi-Fi real quick. It's basically who wins first. So, what's the, actually they're both Kanitia games, Blue Moon City, which we've talked about before, but I don't think any of you guys have played. And then, what's the race? El Dorado, Quest for El Dorado.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, there is a finish line.
Neither
Some of it's
have.
a little gray, but yeah.
There is, but yeah, there's not, it's not like, 6 rounds and whoever's the furthest wins.
Sure.
It could go 8, it could go 10, it could go 6. But regardless, yeah, that was one. And then the Blue Moon City was one where, you're trying to build the city points, and it's also a race game, but if you guys haven't played that one, I highly recommend. I forget if any of you guys have played it.
I've not.
I'm trying to remember. I might
Quest
have
for El Dorado?
Blue Moon City.
Blue Moon City, no.
Blue Moon City.
No, that one I have.
And the thing you might remember about what I was saying was Simon did the most recent production of it, and I super wish they would.
We
sell
did play
someone
that,
else, although I
Rob.
don't
We did
know.
play that.
Simon
Simon
Expo.
Yep. Yeah, Simon Con, or Expo or whatever it was. But yep, I do. That's what I was thinking. I just pulled it up, and as soon as I saw the cover, I was like, yes, we did play that. Yep.
And the colors and the stuff on the cards don't exactly. There's like 2 colors: yellow, gray, and brown, and red, which all sort of are very difficult to discern from each other.
I remember.
But the game is incredibly great. It's great card play. Play these 2 types of cards for, any one number of another type or whatever. Such a great game.
I remember one of the Dice Tower guys. Was it Z or one of them is a really big fan of it?
Yeah, him and also Tom and Mike all love that one. And then beyond that, though, Z and Mike both really like Blue Moon Legends, which is a one-on-one card game.
I haven't played that one.
With
No.
set decks. No, I have it because it's also another Reiner Knizia, but it's like a very good Magic the Gathering or fakey. I don't know how to say that better, but it's a one-on-one. So, but you don't have to have a 60 card deck. You only have like a 20 card deck, and you're playing back and forth against each other. So anyways, but the other thing was that what I mentioned to you in chat or in messaging, Carlos, which is I have recently purchased something that I had previously sold, and I'll give my example at the end. But do you guys have any examples of stuff that's happened to you?
I don't want to comment on this topic.
Carlos has done that a bunch, but I don't know that I have actually. Yeah.
It's mostly not sold. I tend to get rid of stuff to like friends more than anything. I don't like selling to people in the real world because I worry about like them complaining that maybe a component smells like Cheetos. I don't know. Those things worry me. So I tend to sell to friends at very low prices. Like, I'll give games away to friends. And then like later I get an itch to play it and I just buy it again. And it happens.
Yeah. Do you have any actual game examples for that, or
the one that I think bothers me the most would be Memoir 44, because I already have
17 copies of it in your house.
But then I give one away, and I'm like, oh, I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pick up another one to replace that one. Because you gotta have if you're gonna get a player of Overlord, you need 2 copies. But then I have that 3rd copy for the extra pieces because there's lots of cool bits in it. So, and I have 2 copies of Overlord because I want to. I have 2 copies of Overlord.
That one's for pieces.
So you need 4 box
like
sets.
My inner monologue.
You need 4 box sets to run 2 Overlord, and I have BJ from Board Game Gumbo gave me a 2nd copy of the Overlord expansion, which means I need 4 copies to run 2 games of Overlord. But I would also need 16 people. 16 people. I would need 16 people.
Exactly.
The mental gymnastics.
All I'm hearing is an invitation. Really.
Yeah, the math just doesn't add up.
Just the mental gymnastics to justify owning like 17 copies of the same game. I have never sold a game that I wanted to buy back.
I don't think I have. I've always been pretty sure if I got rid of a game, I was done with it.
All right. Well, I'll mention mine, and it's I won't say it's a full cheat, but it's a sort of cheat, and it's actually an expansion.
Okay.
But it's for A Feast for Odin.
Oh.
And
okay.
I had the Norwegian's expansion, and then I played at one of our game groups. Didn't bring the expansion, but I had it anyways. Played at one of our game groups. This is probably 2+ years ago. And the guy who I played with, because I was trying to get it played a couple times, week after week. And finally I did get to play it with someone new who gave me, he's like, he's like, yeah, we could play. He's like, I'm actually the 6th top rated player in America for that. And so I kind of got crushed, which he was very good for teaching. But regardless, yes, he won. And so, playing it and then playing it there and then playing with the expansion a little bit, I was like, it kind of just adds more of the same. So, and there seems to be a demand for it. So maybe I'll, get rid of it. And I sold it basically for the price that I had bought it for. And then recently I just got reinvigorated with it. I was like, I want more of the same. So yes, it's on its way, and that's my example for that. So
yeah, it's a good expansion. It's
I just wanted to call in.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for continuing to make it a
great.
call-in show.
Yes, I'll check out the video. I'll see the Flipboard sign and such. But no, thanks for continuing this show, and it makes me very happy to be able to call in and talk about this stuff.
Oh, we appreciate you. Yeah.
Thanks, Joey. Have a good night.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, bye, guys.
Joey from Colorado, continuing to make it a call-in show, teaching y'all how it's done.
Nice.
Lots of callers tonight. This is great. We're getting to really break in the new call-in board. So that's a good feeling. I was worried that we would not use it at all.
Does it go past 10? I mean, or
It goes into double digits.
oh,
yeah.
I'll have to test that out sometime. Just do it tonight.
We can do like the Dodgers and the Blue Jays and go 18 innings, right? Like
right, 2 full games.
I gave up on it. 2 in the morning, I think, is when we finally went to bed. The boys are still out there. They finally gave up.
Yeah.
At some
not
point,
for
you're
me.
like, I can't. Sorry.
Yeah.
Wayne would rather end it in a tie in football, in a tie.
Hey, games that matter, they don't end in a tie, right?
Yeah. Continue the next day.
The championships always, you have to have a winner.
I was telling Rob before he got here, I played Duel for Middle Earth with my oldest boy, and the second game ended in a tie. It's not a good feeling.
Nope. Don't like
it makes you question everything, every move you
we have
did.
to go
like,
through
what
there's
one
at
move?
least 1 or 2 tiebreakers, right? I mean, so it's like
No.
you gotta, no,
No,
okay.
there is one, and it's presence on the board. So if you get to the end of the game and you haven't won one of the main game end triggers, it's just how much presence you have on the
And
board.
you guys had equal presence.
Equal presence. He did a great job. I had more presence when we went into the last couple of turns, and he did a great job of moving himself around and killing some of my stuff to make that presence happen. So mad props to him. But that tells me that there was one inefficient turn that ruined the game for me. Somewhere in that game, there was one inefficient turn where I could have won it with. So I was talking about some of my Hall stuff. Oh, I do want to finish up with Unmatched because I wanted to talk a little bit about something that stood out for me. Bruce Lee, supposed to be like the most amazing character in the game. Like, I think $100 to buy this guy online. He's awesome. Which they came out with a reprint in a 2-player set of him, but it's still not the original box. Anyway, one of the dads that's really into Unmatched had been looking forward to playing him because he doesn't have him, can't get him. He got to play him. He chose to play him. I chose to play Sherlock Holmes because I've never played him before, and I feel like I found the paper
Kryptonite.
to his rock.
Yeah.
So I found Bruce Lee's paper to his rock. So Bruce Lee's got this thing where all his cards are like number 3 power, right? 3 damage when he attacks.
Okay. Is that good? Yeah.
No, that's meh.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
But it always has the gain another action. So it's the whole Bruce Lee punch, 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 like in your face. Like, oh no. And you only have so many defense cards, right? That you can play. So eventually you stop playing defense cards and he just keeps punching you until he runs out of his attack cards. Sherlock Holmes has a deduce card where you guess the number of the card the opponent played for their attack, and then you turn around and do damage to him instead
for that amount,
and cancel all his ability on his card, so he no longer gains the action.
Just guess 3 every time.
That was it. Like, you're gonna punch me? I'm Sherlock Holmes. I guess 3. Oh, you take damage and no ability for you. It was so deflating for my buddy Ramey that called in the first time. So him and his son and we all got to play, but it was deflating for him because his Bruce Lee got destroyed. It was awesome. Unmatched, man. I forgot how good this game is.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah.
I wanted to talk a little bit about this solo game. I told Chester I would tell him about it. Solo game that I got. I've gotten to play it once, so it's on my Hall and it's on my played games. How do I move this thing? There we go. Let's do that. Rob, this one's for you.
Oh yeah.
1862 War in Virginia.
Okay. Yeah.
Civil War based game, solitaire only by Worthington Press. Comes in this tiny little box that you take with you. It is a chit encounter. And when I say for you, it's just because it's from Virginia. I don't think there's anything about this game that you would like other than the history. But it's all about the battles that occurred in 1862 in the state of Virginia during the Civil War, because that was a crux moment. That was a moment where the Union was right near Richmond, almost able to take it, and then the South was pushing on Washington, D.C. So, like, either side had an opportunity to end the war in 1862 instead of dragging it out all the way to 1865. The Civil War could have ended right here in Virginia early, but it ended up, like Wayne says, how he likes his football, in a tie. It was effectively a tie that season of battling, because back then people didn't battle in the winter. Like, once winter came, it was over. So this allows you to replay a lot of those battles. The way it does it is you're using these 4 tracks that are on the board. These 4 tracks, one is for the James River track. There's the Peninsula track. So I guess the Peninsula of Virginia, that's a thing, Rob. Then there's the James River. Then there's the Overland route, and then the Valley route. And each route leads either to Richmond. There's 2 routes that lead to Richmond and 2 routes that lead to Washington, D.C.
DC.
You play as the Confederate player, and each round you'll flip one of these cards that will tell you about a lot of history, a lot of events here, and it's going to push the armies around. So like the Southern Peninsula Army is there. Meanwhile, the Union Peninsula Army has McClellan, and they're trying to defend Fort Monroe. So you're pushing these tokens back and forth, trying to get to the major cities. The Union or the South is trying to protect Richmond from being taken by the Union, which is the AI bot is the Union. You're actually playing the Confederates in this game, which is a little interesting. It's a different point of view that I've not done before. I tend to play games where I'm playing the North, the Union, going after the South. But so you're trying to defend down here, spend actions to do that. Meanwhile, you really want to push into DC because that's the win trigger for the South. Win DC, you win the game. Right? And then if the Union is able to take Richmond before you take DC, that bot wins the game. Super light rule set, very dice reliant is the word I'll use. But a lot of the cards allow for modifiers based on historical events that allow for some turns. Once you get to know what the cards are in here, you can kind of plan your actions. You have to learn to, in some of the meta, it's like, okay, allow the South to lose some battles. And if you lose enough battles, that's when it triggers bringing Robert E. Lee in. And now Robert E. Lee gives you the modifiers that you need to be able to attack Washington. Without him or Stonewall, you cannot take Washington at all. Like, you need a 7 on a D6 to take Washington, and you cannot do that without Robert E. Lee or without Stonewall Jackson. So you're trying to manipulate this political track and give some power to Lincoln, so that you then bring in Robert E. Lee. And then you want to push it back against Lincoln, but when you push the pressure against Lincoln, he takes McClellan and moves them over to defend D.C. All this stuff is happening. So it's this, I played this like in 15 minutes in bed on a little, like a tray, you know, those little food trays that you have. I don't know.
TV tray, yeah.
Yeah, like a little TV tray. I played it on the TV tray in bed, and then really enjoyed the history of it. The artwork is it's historical photographs, historical paintings, a lot of history text in there, but simple gameplay. So Chester, if you're still listening, War in Virginia, 1862 War in Virginia is a fun pocket solitaire game you can take with you, play anywhere, because this is the presence, this little board right
So
here.
you only ever play as the South, and you can win or lose whether you take Virginia or Washington. There's no tie. Like
There is so like in Lord of the Rings Duel for Middle Earth, if at the end of the deck you're going to discard 4 cards at the beginning of the game, so you won't see 4 of these cards, you don't know what they are. It's almost like in toy battles when you get rid of 4 chits, you never know what they are, you know. But hopefully they're the chits that help your opponent, not you. You get rid of 4 cards and then you flip every card. If you get to the end of the game and nobody has taken either Richmond or Washington, D.C., you then look at the political track, so the pressure track, and that gives you kind of a score. So, for example, if you can get up to 16, which is up here, between 16 and 18 on the pressure against Lincoln, so the South putting pressure on the North, that's a minor Confederate victory. So it's not a full victory, but it's a minor victory. Anything between 13 and 15 is going to be a draw. So historically, that was a draw. And then anything 12 points or less, it's a loss. So it's a Union victory. They won. So that's how you score the game if you're not able to take either of those locations. The Merrimack is here, Rob.
Yeah.
The Merrimack is there until an event occurs that I can't remember the name of the ship, the ironclad that killed the Merrimack. Oh, history.
The Monitor.
The Monitor. When the Monitor came and destroyed the Merrimack, you take this token off, and now it allows the army of the Union that's going up the James River to move faster. With the Merrimack there, the army that's on the Union army on the James River takes more die rolls to move forward and put pressure. So like you're really trying to push your attacks while you have the Merrimack. So I love ACW, American Civil War history. that I've been to Chickamauga Battlefield. Like, to me, this historical stuff is great, and this little game is just a banger. It just came out. It just released. I've been waiting for it because they have 3 games in this series like this from Worthington Press. One set in Pacific War, World War II. One set in the French and Indian War, I think it was. But none of them have the deck of cards. They all do that track thing where, the bot is trying to defend while you, the player, are trying to attack. But it's all straight up die rolls. And I'm like, that just sounds lame, right? Like, I'm just going to rely on dice, luck-based only.
You love your dice.
Yeah, but, I mean, yes. And I also like the cards, and that's the big differentiator in this game, this 1862 game, is the historical cards that change each turn. Each turn is going to be different because of those cards, so it really adds that more thematic feel, and I think it feels less of an activity where you kind of watch dice resolve, and more of, okay, this card came out, if I do these things, I can use this card to my benefit.
Okay.
There you go. First impressions, 1862, War in Virginia.
You're liking it.
Nice. That's cool.
Not loving it, liking it.
Liking it.
Worth it. Historical buffs, totally worth it.
Okay.
And I
sounds
think
interesting.
that ends my twig. Let me double check that.
Yeah, the only thing I can throw in while you're looking there is so me and my eldest have started playing Wayfarers of the South Tigris, which is the first of the South Tigris series. So I taught him that game, and we are in between other things, lunch breaks and stuff from work. We're getting in half hour here, half hour there. It's a kind of a long game. It's taken us. It's his first game, and it's only my second play, so it's going to probably be a 2+ hour playthrough. Once we get it down, it'll be much shorter. Nice. But he's liking it. He's liking it quite a bit more than the Architects and the South Kingdom trilogy of games. It's definitely a step up in complexity. He agrees. He's like, oh yeah, there's definitely more going on here. There's more to think about, but he's liking it. So, but that's been my play actually for at least for the last few days. We've been kind of playing little chunks of that at a time.
Nice. I'm actually, I'm taking the day off tomorrow. I think after I do some work on my car and do a little errands in the morning, I think tomorrow afternoon, I'm probably going to do a run of Final Girl for Halloween.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You can see Horrified's already on the table. Wifey is asking for it for Halloween, so we have it on the table.
Yeah, tomorrow night I might see if, depending on how late we get back from trick-or-treating with the kid, I might see if the wife wants to do either Mansions of Madness or maybe even do Betrayal.
Oh, yeah, cool.
But I think Final Girl for tomorrow. I'm going to do that. I'm going to try the Krampus, the Christmas Final Girl.
I don't have that one. Yeah, tell me how that one goes. I'd be interested to hear that.
It sounds like Walmart, like this Halloween stuff and Christmas stuff already out.
Exactly.
Come on,
That's
bro.
what I'm doing, man. they all got Christmas stuff out already, man. That's good. That's my holiday, man. So
nice. I got Horrified sitting on my shelf in there too, so I probably should pull that one out. That one, and what's the one where you're building the not the monster, but you're putting together, trying to reanimate a person. What's it called?
Oh yeah. The Abomination.
Abomination.
That's a cool game.
Yeah, I knew it was just a one name title, but yeah, that's it. Abomination. So I've got that in there too. That would be interesting to try to pull out and play. I haven't played all the way through with the revised or the updated rule set, which supposedly makes it a little more fair. Because I guess the original rule set on it depended a lot on dice rolls at the end, and one person could get lucky, hit it on their first try, and win the game. But I want to try it with the altered, the official altered rules from the designers. See how that goes.
I know your daughter likes that game. She's into that macabre stuff, and now she's doing the veterinary stuff over
veterinary school. So she'll be putting toger weird things from different animals, and yeah, exactly.
no, don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
No, I don't want to do that. No. Oh, and she likes that. Yeah, she likes the whole voodoo thing. So yeah, who knows?
I'm looking forward to work actually. Then, right?
Yeah, probably so. Yeah,
she didn't get to play that one yet.
No, she hasn't.
I want to give a shout out in the Discord real quick. The Halloween thread that I created for topic ideas and questions. Alex and Janella are already in there putting in some of the Halloween games they've been playing.
Good deal.
So what I'd like to see is for next week when we do our twig, right, and talk about, because it'll be Halloween, we'll get an opportunity to talk about our games played, and then we'll jump into that thread and share what other folks had played over Halloween.
And I don't know if they're listening right now, but Alex and Janella should both call in because they just had a game day. I didn't get a chance to go, but they had a game day. I think it was last Saturday, where they did a Halloween theme. They played all Halloween games. They were encouraging people to dress up and stuff. So they need to call and tell us what games got played during the Halloween themed game day.
And then let's not forget Cardboard for Kids. This is it. This is the last weekend to put in your Cardboard for Kids. I think they're celebrating on Sunday at Tampa Gaming Guild, at TGG.
Yep.
They're celebrating the Cardboard for Kids and doing the whole handing over of games from Chris Fetterspiel and the folks at TGG, as well as the Nautilus crew, the Gasparilla crew. They're all gonna all the stuff that they collected for them is gonna be handed over at TGG. I know that I used Amazon. It's so easy. I posted up in our Discord again in the general chat, reminding folks to jump in there, click the link, grab a small game. There's a lot of like little $10 games in there too, $20 games, and it'll go right to Chris's house, and he gets them right over to the kids at One Voice Academy, which is the kids with cancer. And they also are spreading that love elsewhere, even beyond in the circles around there. Beans and Dice Podcast. State your name. Where are you calling from?
This is Ron from Atlanta.
Hey, Ron.
Man. Caller number 4, going on the
We're going to
board.
hear from him tonight. Wow. Welcome, Ron.
Caller number 4.
Caller number 4.
I'm like, what's up with that? I know.
He used to be number
Busy
1.
man tonight.
He used to be number 1.
I know. Yeah, busy man tonight. But I'm just now tuning into the show, so I don't really know what you guys are talking about.
We touched a little bit on Halloween games that we've been playing in our Twig. That's where we kind of ended up right here. That's where we ended up talking about some of the Halloween games that are being posted in our Discord that people are playing.
All right.
I've got Horrified on my board on
You
my
guys wanna
table, but I decided not to buy the D&D version because of your conversation. So thank you for that. You saved me some bucks.
No problem. I'm sure you spent the money elsewhere.
He's not wrong.
All right, so I'm going to talk about Level Up Games Con, or LugsCon for short. I told you guys I would call back and give you a report, and so here we are.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay, so there's that Gas South Convention Center, which is like 15 minutes away from my house, so that was nice. It was I don't want to call it small because they must have had somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,000 unique attendees or so. This was the first year. This was not a great time of year to be doing a convention, especially since they actually attempted to schedule not conflict with Essen. And then, I guess after they had signed the papers, that Essen moved back a couple of weeks from when they usually have it. So that was kind of a bummer on their part. It probably affected the vendors and personalities that would have been available to attend. Because if you guys remember, the Dice Tower has stopped at the Level Up Game Store on the Gen Con trip to do, okay, so obviously there's a connection there, for example. But it was still a good time. It wasn't, obviously wasn't crowded, but the vendor hall was decent. You had 25th Century Games were there, a couple other game companies, some RPG companies like like Goodman Games and Feature Collection, some other indie arts and crafts folks, that kind of stuff, like you would see at a tabletop convention vendor hall. The events feel like last minute because I was on tabletop events even on the week of. It was like it didn't seem like too many events were filling, and of course, I imagine that a lot of people made last minute decisions to go. So for me personally, I told you about the one game I played. I only played two other tabletop games. And then I had an RPG session, and the rest of it was Super Show focused for me. But I did get to demo a game called Plunderlust. And let me get back to it. But basically, Level Up Games Con was pretty good for a first attempt. I know some people were complaining about the value for the cost, and it's like doing a convention at a convention center is the cost of doing business. The board game library was kind of lacking. Somebody was complaining about there not being a swap meet. I don't think that's a requirement for a tabletop game convention.
It's very nice to have.
It is, but it's not a requirement. So I felt like, I was reading some of that comment. I personally feel like it's a bit of a nitpick, but hey, they are open to feedback, and we'll send out a survey for all that stuff. So I definitely enjoyed myself at the convention, and time and schedule permitting, I'm going to go back again next year. And I think I told you guys that I was badge number 1.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So they refunded my badge after the convention was over.
Wow. That's cool.
That's celebration worthy.
Yeah. No one told me they were going to do it. I just got an email for a refund and went to the website and that they converted my badge to a free badge. I'm like, all right then. Any questions before I talk about Plunderlust?
You talked about the value. What was that badge price prior to the refund?
4-day was $100.
That's not terrible.
Yeah, that's not bad. Well, depending on what you get for it, but yeah.
Well, 4 days of gaming.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it depends a little bit on the library and all that, but yeah.
Was it a 24-hour game room?
No, it was not.
Oh, okay. So now the value's going down.
That's the thing. Yeah. So I'm surprised nobody complained about it not being a 24-hour, thing. But the convention center closed at 11 o'clock. Actually, I guess it's technically closed at midnight, but the convention closed all their rooms at 11, which is fine by me. But some of you guys, some of you degenerates like to play games at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Well, it happens.
2 thumbs and a degenerate.
Yeah.
Right here.
So yeah, I mean, I can see the complaints about value, and I think the experience will only improve. So, I'm guessing, if they have enough of an attendance, right, they'll probably get that kind of access to the rooms. I mean, that's the thing. You have to have the money to do it. And to have the money to do it, you have to have the people to come. But like, this was like an unknown. So I get it.
I like the location. I like the time of year. It's something that I've added to my calendar to try to see about making it happen. October has a decision to make between racing and gaming, but I do have family right there, right in Commerce, Georgia, not far. So it's and in Flowery Branch, so it's not far. It would not be hard for me to go. So I'm gonna have to make some tough decisions.
Exactly. So Plunderlust. It is I demoed this game on the Sunday. It is a 2-player card game. Although it can accommodate up to 6, I guess. It is a game that can be played its default format is 1v1, but you could also play, one-on-one and team and solo and cooperative and all that kind of stuff. So the basics is that in a sci-fi horror universe, you are the captain of a ship who hires crew to go about doing jobs, gaining money, beating up monsters, and that's basically it. But it's set up kind of a trading card game type of thing where you have your crew that you buy, and then you also have monsters which you fight. You play against the other player, and they fight those monsters. And then you also have like mercenaries, and the mercenaries can either be crew for you, or they could be monsters against the other guy. You have locations. All of these cards are in your deck. You have a location location cards. And you earn your money by playing the location cards and rolling the die and earning the credits, and then those credits are how you can play the cards to the table, right? That's your game currency. And the object of the game is to deplete your opponent's health, which this was neat. So in each deck you take the top 7 cards of the deck face down, and that's your health. So you don't know what cards those are. So there's always that tiny chance of uncertainty, right? Like, maybe your big ally actually ended up being one of the health cards. Or maybe the boss monster that you were going to play against the bad guy or against your enemy is one of those cards. Then you decide to luck. Because you can play a boss monster against somebody. Once you play a boss monster against them, they can either win the game outright by beating the boss monster, or they can lose the game by getting beat by the boss monster. Because the boss monster attacks everything every turn. There's a dice rolling mechanic. You roll a d20 to hit, and then the different monsters and mercs and crew, they have damage dice. So you're rolling for damage and everything like that. So excuse me. If you do not like dice in your card games, Plunderlust is not for you. It looks great on the table. As a matter of fact, every time I passed the booth, I kept looking at it the entire weekend, and eventually Saturday I came in and decided I needed to try the game out at least. I shared a picture on my Instagram, so it looks really amazing on the table.
You weren't kidding about the horror aspect.
It's got some grisly stuff.
Yeah. So it's so Plunderlust is set in the same universe as the role playing game Vast Grim. I don't know who they mentioned as the designer of Plunderlust, but Brian Collin is a designer of the Vast Grim role playing game.
He's also listed as the designer along with Duncan Hall, and Brian Collins also listed as the artist for the game.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know that he did the art. Okay. Interesting. So that's the basics, enjoyment, aesthetics, negatives. Dice.
Dice suck.
And I hate to say it.
Dice and cards together can be hard.
Yep. Yeah. Dice and cards together can be hard. Coming from a guy who plays a card game where there's a die rolling mechanic as a main mechanic. You have to have ways to mitigate that dice roll. And I only demoed the game, so I can't really say. But as it stands, it's enough of a negative to really drive people away. As someone who's only intending on playing this casually, probably solo, when I figure it out, it's fine. But it's something to look out for. And that's the only thing that I got on and off the top of my head. So
brother, you must be
something you would definitely.
You must be an early adopter. There's literally no photo of the cover on BGG. There are 3 comments and 3 ratings. Not a single entry in the forums. You must be getting in real early on this one.
Yes, like Brian was saying that like they had just got the stuff. Like LoveCon was the second convention that the game was at.
Chester mentions the color palette. Chester from Tennessee mentions the color palette in the comments. He says, I dig the early 90s color palette. Is there a Lisa Frank promo card? I do got to say, the color palette reminds me of Radlands, the game from, who did Roxley? Roxley Games. That color palette, that style reminds me of that.
Right. Yeah, that's right. You're right. Yeah, I can see that for sure. So, whether buy, try, or deny, well, kind of hard to buy it right now.
But if it was available,
well, I bought the 2-player starter set. So
there you go.
So that's where I'm staying.
Yeah.
That's the one play I'm in. Like I have to reiterate, like I only ever plan on playing this like solo or co-op or like very casually 1v1 because they have a bunch of different decks. Like this is one of those games like I can't think of one. Like I wouldn't compare it. Yeah, I would say it would be more like a LCG type thing. You know, because they have different decks that are, maybe that's what their intent is.
Kind of like an Arkham Horror or LCG or something, yeah?
Yeah. So I don't plan on going like that deep into it.
Sure. All
right, but it was like,
it was noteworthy. There's something about it that must have got you because it seems you brought it up for a reason. It's noteworthy to you.
Yeah. You know, I kind of felt like when I was playing, I kind of felt like it was like Firefly, Serenity, except with the horror dialed up to 11.
The Reavers. It's just all Reavers. You're playing Firefly, but it's all Reavers.
Yeah. And so that's what got me.
I did not know that side of you. That's interesting. That's a very dark side.
You got the beans.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is that like that's not usually my thing, but like this was a very specific itch that that it scratched. Right? Like something I wasn't even looking for. Right? I mean, you look at once again, so for some people that color palette is terrible, right? They'll think it's horrible. But like it caught my eye from the very beginning, and then like, yeah, the whole package was enough for me to pick it up. So,
well, thank you for
it's $40. Now that I remember, yeah,
40. Okay,
that's a 2-player
$40.
set.
I remember. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Good stuff. Early review. So,
and yeah, I probably should get on board games. You can.
Yeah, put something on the forums because it like I got to the page and I'm like, am I in the right place? There's no image of the cover, and there's only like 5 images that people have uploaded.
Some Geek Gold if you dismiss some stuff for it, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I was calling for, just to give you a capsule review of Lugcon and give it the beans on this one game that I didn't talk about last week because I didn't play it at that point in time. So,
well, thank you, sir. You're always appreciated.
Always. Appreciate you calling and keeping it a call-in show. Number 4 tonight.
All right, you guys take it easy.
Good night, Ron.
Thanks, Ron.
Thanks, man.
All right, so that wraps up the call-in show part of the show. So we're going to turn off the phone lines. We'll wrap up our Twig. I think I finished off with what I had. I was all done. Rob wrapped up a little bit, right?
Yeah, I think that was it for me. Yeah.
Wayne, any final Twigs, gaming content or hauls or other?
No.
Did you break open Origins yet?
Yeah,
Origin
I broke
story?
it open. I put together the little the discs, the scoring discs. Kind of.
Did you get a chance to check out the solo rules and play?
I didn't yet. No, probably.
That's what I want to check out. That's the first thing I'm gonna do is check it out, the solo version. Okay.
Oh, I did have another game I played. It was Friday, so it was right after our show. Actually, this one's kind of a big one. But Speakeasy, the newest Lacerda, I got to play Speakeasy. And so I will save the full in-depth dive on it for another show because I'd like to play it again to give it a good full review. But we played 3-player, and I would say it wasn't super long. It was, what does they advertise here? 50 to 180 minutes. At 3 players, I want to say it was about 2 hours, maybe just a little over 2 hours, so a little over 120 minutes maybe, which is probably right. At 4 players, you're probably going to push it up to 180.
That's kind of a playtime range that I would get from Spectrum for when the guys come in to fix my modem.
Exactly. It's pretty wide, but it is 1 to 4 players. So, I mean, 1 player, it's probably what they're shooting at for an hour or less with 1 player, but you get 4. There is really no simultaneous to this. So you are, you are waiting for everybody to do their turn. And there are some thinky moments, as any Lacerda. This is thinky. Although I did make the comment several times that I'm new to this Lacerdas. We've talked about this quite a bit over the last year or so on the show. That I've just maybe about a year ago I played my first Lacerda, and now I've played more than half of his at least his popular ones. And this is definitely not my favorite after 1 play. It is definitely not the most difficult Lacerda, though. I would say this came in on the lower end of difficulty, and maybe that was because of the theme. It's extremely thematic. Everything kind of makes sense. There is a lot going on. There's a lot to juggle, a lot to keep track of. but it does kind of make sense, what you're doing, why you're doing it, how you're trying to get power and do different things in parts of the city to score points. The production is off the charts. You can see, those of you who can see at home, just the photos we're going through here. But again, I won't get into the deep dive. I'll keep it pretty shallow here, but I need another play to feel real comfortable with it. Most Lacerdas take me almost a full game, though, before I really kind of feel like I know what's going on. This one, after probably the second round of, there's 4. So about halfway through the game, I felt like, I'm sorry, there's 5 rounds. But about halfway through, it started clicking, and I was like, oh, okay. And I could stop asking questions at this point about, what does this do? What does that do? What does that trigger again? There was just 1 or 2 little things, but most of the iconography and stuff was clean. Most of the things made sense, and I liked it. Again, probably not my favorite after 1 play, but I'm going to give it another shot, and then I'll hopefully soon give it a deeper dive. But if you like Lacerdas, and especially maybe coming in more at the entry level Lacerda, this one's not overly complicated like some of his others are.
So connecting theme with rules and mechanisms, themey wise, what are you doing?
You are, like Lacerdas again.
So don't get into like the bits and the tracks and the theme wise. Who am I and what am I doing?
You are I think it's a crime family. Well, not a crime family necessarily. You are, because there are crime bosses out there that you can recruit to be on your side. But basically, you're running hooch. You're trying to run speakeasies. You can build speakeasies, casinos. You can have 1 still in the game. There's 1 still that you can build, and that's where you produce some of your I don't know. They probably call it officially something. I can't refer to it as hooch, the spirits, whatever, that you're producing them. You got this little truck. You can see that you're running around trying to deliver it to your speakeasies. And so there's definitely pick up and deliver. There's hand management. You've got cards that are multi-use cards that you're doing different things with. But you are, as some of the pictures here jogging my memory, you've got these police officers that are showing up in different districts. You have to have protection, which is the little meeple with the gun, protecting your building, which is, again, can be the casino, the still, the speakeasy. There was a 4th one. I forget what the 4th building is, but anyway, you're building these up. There's area control. So your scoring is mostly area control, but you lose by either having the police show up and not having your building protected. If that happens, I believe you lose your building. And then there's also mobs. Like I said, there's mob bosses out there that show up in different areas, and you have to defend through a card play system and having some power. You can recruit on these cards here.
Are these AI mob bosses?
They are
these other players.
Yeah, they just come out and they have you actually know. Well, sometimes you know what their strength is going to be in certain areas when they show up. And so you kind of play this, again, it's Lacerda, big game. You can't do everything. And so you're trying to build buildings to have area control points, but then you're trying to run your hooch because you sell your hooch at your different locations for different amounts of money. Depending, the casinos make you the most money, the speakeasies make you the least by delivering to those. And then you, so again, it's point salad again without getting into all the details. I'm trying to stay
that kind of gave me the idea.
Okay,
I'm not a mobster, but I'm
sure.
I'm making alcohol during the Prohibition era and sneaking it around and trying to make money off of it.
Trying to stay away from the cops and trying to protect your stuff from the big mob bosses who.
And I don't have to fight the other players, right?
You don't. Yep, it's just protecting. The only fighting the other players, I would say, would be the area control. Each borough in New York there has its own. It has a set number of spaces set number of buildings that can go there. I guess that's the best way to say it. And so you are competing a little bit to be the first to build here. The different areas, the different zones have different objectives. So like this one want you to have a casino and a speakeasy in 2 different boroughs or whatever. So you got those things. Again, just lots of little ways to make points. It's a point salad, as a lot of Lacerdas are. But again, I would say, it says weight 4.21. So I mean, it is a Lacerda, but I felt it was a little more, and the theme probably had a lot to do with that. A little more.
That's what it sounds like. It
kind of made sense. Yeah, it was thematic. Yeah.
Really connecting the theme to the game does simplify for the folks.
Yep. But a bunch of people at TGG got it. Jim's got a copy. We played his copy. Sam has a copy. So I know I'm going to get another opportunity to play this soon. And so I want to get one more play in, and then I'll give it the full breakdown.
All right. That's our twig.
Yay.
That gets us into the OGG, the other geeky goodness.
Carlos must have something he really wants to talk about.
I know,
We're pushing
right?
11:30. So, yeah.
Is it already?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Holy
Me too,
moly!
man.
I don't have
Yeah.
a watch.
No, yeah,
Um,
Maybe.
it's getting late.
All right,
Save that.
Lord of the
Or no?
Rings trilogy, the extended editions.
Oh,
I
extended.
started watching those. I thought I had watched them, but I was wrong.
I haven't.
So it is a lot of
They're
new
better.
content.
It's good.
Kind of building up the fluff for playing some more of the Lord of the Rings Duel for Middle Earth. Getting to enjoy that. It is much better. Lord of the Rings extended edition. Watch some more High Potential. So it ended. I think I don't know if it's called the end of a season, but they're breaking to like January, and it ended off on a pretty good cliffhanger. But my wife recognized this episode that we both didn't recognize is the last few episodes. There's been a character there who looks familiar. It was Mekhi Phifer from ER, 8 Mile, and I Know What You Did Last Summer. Mekhi Phifer in there. So, it's been a fun series. It's good to put it on pause for a little bit. It'll let me get through some other shows. So that's what I've been watching and enjoying.
Cool.
Yeah, anything for you, Wayne?
Oh yeah. I powered through all 5 episodes, and each episode is like an hour to an hour and 20 minutes long, like full on, like they're almost like mini movies. Chernobyl, the HBO documentary series, like HBO, not documentary, but series. And then I've gone down a rabbit hole of reading about the Chernobyl accident, and this series is very accurate to the real events, how it happened. And it's pretty freaking crazy how there's like a little gnat in here. Sorry. Every now and then it lands on the mic. Like,
Imaginary.
God damn it. But no, it's really, really accurate to how it happened. Covers like the real live people. The one thing they kind of amalgamate, there's a bunch of scientists, right? So you can't highlight all the scientists who kind of like came up with the answers, have how to fix it or stop it. So they kind of amalgamated into like one character that was like a female scientist. But at the end of the documentary, they basically point out like, hey, this person, everyone else was real. This person wasn't. But this person stands for the hundreds of scientists that basically saved the world. Because if you watch this documentary, you learn very quickly how very close that was from basically poisoning all of Europe. And like they came within like hours or a day of like just full on like end of the world type apocalypse from this reactor that they knew had a design flaw and they chose not to fix because it would have been bad publicity for the Russian government. And like it's a really, really good series to watch. It's really good. There's probably only one part that your VidAngel is going to cut out, Carlos, and it's really just there's a scene where they get these like 400 coal miners, and they say you need to dig a trench under the reactor because it's going to melt through and melt into the thing because we need to get coolant in there, and like we can't have fans it's like, you know, it was so hot that they just stripped naked because they were so boiling hot under there digging this trench under the.
Imagine the amount of radiation they're.
Yeah, like like more than half of these guys died. Like,
you know what's crazy? Like starting a war right next to it. Like that's even stupider, right?
No, it's even crazier. So I watched a documentary after that. So after the Chernobyl accident, so in the last 15 years, they've like the world spent $2 billion to build this sleeve that they built off of the thing and then rolled it over the top of the reactor. And it's like this dome,
like a giant concrete dome.
Well, it's not even. It's like
a card sleeve.
It kind of like, yeah. So and it's like it had 2 layers, had an inner layer and outer layer, and in the middle had this membrane that would like reflect back all the radiation and absorb it, and it's supposed to last 100 years. And it literally went over the site like in 2021 or 2 or something like that, and a Russian drone hit it and punctured it and burnt out the whole membrane in the middle. It took firefighters like weeks to put it out, and again getting radiation, putting out the fire and stuff. And it's like, really, Like, so now they're like, it's not gonna last 100 years. It's probably and there's like no way to fix it. So it's like, Jesus Christ, people. But yeah, it's a really good documentary. Made me go down a rabbit hole reading more about it, and it was kind of crazy. And then
I think Netflix had one on the Pennsylvania one,
3 Mile Island.
Yeah,
3 Mile
so that
Island.
was a good one too. I watched that one.
Yeah, but the Chernobyl one is really good. It's like you watch the first episode, you're like, really, it blew up, and you're just saying, no, it was just a tank. It's fine, because nobody wanted, because in Soviet Russia they just shoot the guy, right? So no one wanted to admit it was their fault, and they finally one guy was like, no, dude, there's literally like graphite on the roof. Like, you can't, graphite's in the core. If there's graphite on the roof, then the core has exploded. And they're like, yeah. So, but that was really good. And then I watched, everyone's talking about The House of Dynamite, which is a Netflix movie.
I heard of that one.
It's a new Netflix movie, and the basic premise is somebody launches a nuclear missile from the middle of the Pacific, right around Korea or whatever, and it's headed to the United States. And like, no one could, was it the Russians, is it the Chinese, is it the Koreans? No one knows what it is. And then like, so that, and the movie is like 3 parts. Like, the first thing is like from the perspective of like missile command and like the White House situational room. The second half is from like the military, Pentagon, and the president. And the third half is like the White House press briefing. So it's like the same, like 17 minutes until the nuclear bomb hits the United States. And of course, our missile defense misses it, and it's going to hit. And it's a little contrived. It's very divisive. Like, some people, like everyone, like a lot of people are on Facebook. Obviously, like a ton of people I know on Facebook or social media go, "Oh my God, this movie's so amazing." And I watched it. I'm like, it's, it's kind of forced. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I think, basically a lot of things have to go wrong for us, basic premise is what would happen if somebody, an actor of some kind, fired a nuclear missile and we didn't know who did it. What would we do? Right. And like, yeah. So it was interesting, but it didn't really hold my attention as much as I was expecting. Something better. It was kind of meh. And I've watched a couple of like YouTube videos. I follow a guy on YouTube who's clearly like former military intelligence, and he does like he kind of reviewed it. Was like, well, it's mildly entertaining, but there's a lot here that's kind of wouldn't happen that way. And yeah, we only have so many of these anti-nuclear missiles in our arsenal. But if like, we would probably fire more than 2,
There's no point in saving them. I'm just saying.
Well, and it's like, the idea is like, he's like, we may have like 60 or 70 of these things. So if a full scale nuclear war happens, it's not like we're going to be able to take out all the nukes coming from whatever country. So he's like, if there's one coming towards us, we're going to probably just, make sure we take care of that one, Anyway, so it was okay. This
is good info for the folks at home. Like, there's so much content out there to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Hearing the good and the meh helps them decide what to put their energy to.
With all the hype about this movie, everyone was talking about it. I've seen it all over the place. And so it's like the #1 movie on Netflix, and everyone's posting about it. So I was like, okay, well, let me see. After I watched Chernobyl, I'm like, oh, there's another movie about nuclear war or whatever. Let me watch this. And I was just like, it was okay, but at least for me. So
it's no K-pop Demon Hunter.
There's no no, definitely no K-pop Demon Hunter.
Okay, that's good.
Awesome.
People at work are talking about it.
Of course they are,
dude.
And what they all said was, I said it was going to be so stupid, and then now I'm singing the songs. Like everyone, that's what they say. Like
100%. Yep.
Nothing wrong. That's good.
I'm going to fight the good fight. I'm going to fight the
family
good
movie.
fight.
It's a good family movie.
Yeah, I did forget to bring up one that I watched. My wife put on. I think it was like last night or night before last, and I just started watching with her. It's a new title on Hulu called Swiped. It's the story of the female entrepreneur who in college created Tinder and then later created the app Bumble, and her story and her saga that led to the big lawsuit against Tinder for sexual harassment and other things that she has under an NDA, can't talk about, but it kind of like fictionalizes a lot of that while sharing some of that story. It was interesting. I like Jobs, like the Jobs movie. I like watching these movies about these tech bros and how they create and how they invent and how they get others on board to, help support their idea for the tech. And I think Swipe does a good job of providing that female perspective, which is not normal for the tech world, for the tech bro world as they call it. So Swiped, I wouldn't say it was a stellar film. It wasn't a great film, but it was definitely a good film on Hulu. Which got me looking into like the news articles. I started going back into the history of it to learn, okay, when did this happen? And oh man, this sounds like it was real. And how much money did she make? First billionaire woman or something? Okay. So interesting. Swiped.
Good stuff.
Yep. And that's all I got. That's it.
I think that's
Rob,
it.
nothing for you?
No, I haven't. I've been watching lots of sports, hockey, football, baseball. World Series.
Yesterday was the Equinox, right?
Equinox.
Or Tuesday night was the Equinox. All major sports leagues had a game on that night.
Tuesday night,
like basketball, baseball, hockey.
Not football.
Wasn't football. Not on Tuesday.
Or it might have been one night this week. This might be the week that like every sport had something going.
Okay.
So
Something
if
like
you're
that.
a sports fan, like you're busy.
Yeah.
NASCAR playoffs, F1 in the final races of the season.
Yeah. We tried to start watching the last season of Wheel of Time, or the most recent season, because we hadn't watched that yet, and I fell asleep about 10 minutes
I'm like,
into
I'm
it,
done.
so-
Why
Yeah.
bother?
Yeah. Well, so we're gonna watch it. My wife really likes it, so yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, I'll try to stick it out for that one. But I just I fell asleep that night. I was too tired. Watched too many sports, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it for me.
All right, folks, it's another great episode. We'll be back next week for more. Next week, we'll talk about our top 20 games played in October. We'll update our annual list to see what's risen to the top, what fell off the list from all the games that we got to play in October. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, and subscribe to the show. That's a great way to help us out. Our Discord is in the link. There's a new forum in there in our call-in show section where you can put in topics. If you have ideas or questions for us that you want us to address on the show, put a topic in there. We can discuss it and then make it an episode for the show. Right now, there's Halloween games that you played. Put that up there so next week we can share that. You can always email us at beansanddice@gmail.com. Make sure you can, if you like what we do here and you want to make sure it continues, you can help us monetarily through PayPal, Venmo, Cash App at Beans and Dice or #Beans and Dice. And we will be back next week. I've been Carlos.
I'm Rob.
Wayne.
Thank you for watching. God bless y'all. Have a good night.
Everybody.
Thanks for watching the Beans and Dice podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Oh, Thunder Alley's been fun. Right, Wayne?
Yes.